Welcome to the Filthy Dad Pod, a place where three washed-up dads talk sports to the masses in between wiping asses. I am Ryan. To my right, that beautiful soul right there with that. What hat is that? Let me see that hat. Can you get a little closer? Ooh, that is some heat. D, where'd you get that heat from?
I actually got it from my father-in-law, Edgar. Bigs up to him. Shouts out to him.
That's a fire ass hat. I don't think I ever seen a hat like that. And then underneath me, he got some fire on his head too. But that's because the Cincinnati Bengals about to clutch that 1 seed, baby. What's up, Tom?
Come Monday night, baby.
Come Monday night, we got ourselves a duel in. Where are they at? Are they in Buffalo?
I think they're in Buffalo, but it doesn't matter.
It don't matter. We're gonna. I want to see if this is the episode where Derek comes around and backs the Bengals. But we'll
Actually,
see.
I'm sorry. They're in the jungle.
Oh, they are in the jungle. All right. Well, it makes it even spicier. Well, this is the last episode of 2022. We will not be on again until next Thursday, where we'll kind of do another little abbreviated previous week recap, looking into the next week as we finish out the holiday season. But we want to thank everybody for their support in 2022 towards the end. We're gearing up for a great 2023, and we hope you guys are all on board with us. Last week when we did trivia, D, you were not in the building.
I wasn't. So Tom, how many questions did we give Tom?
We gave him one. I gave the audience
one.
2 questions, and I gave the audience the 400-point question, so I saved a 300-point question for you, and I'm going to give it to you.
All right.
So we're going to start off hot, and then we'll get into our regular trivia. So for
I got one of the questions right though.
Which one? I asked you the.
No, you asked me the one when I got one. What's the name? The one that I got when he played the Bills.
The 200-point one. Yes.
Yeah.
So let me update this score. So Tom actually has 1,000. Okay, Tom's getting a little bit of a lead here, but that's all right because Derek has a chance right here for 300 points. Derek, last week's the theme of the trivia was the greatest plays in NFL history. Okay, and we talked about the Music City Miracle where the lateral to Kevin Dyson got them in the end zone. They won the wild card playoff game in 2000, but later in that playoffs in the Super Bowl, Kevin Dyson was stopped at the 1-yard line. Do you remember the team that beat the Tennessee Titans in the 2000 Super Bowl?
2000. Who was it? The Titans?
It was the Titans. Who beat them?
I'm going to go with the Rams. St. Louis
you
Rams.
Are correct. Good shit. Look at that. And just like that, you get yourself back in the mix. You're only down 300 points. I like it. And
I'm like the Bengals. I keep scratching back, Thomas.
Keep scratching, Tommy.
Roar.
No, the difference is the Bengals are still in first place. You're not.
Ooh,
okay.
All right. Well, he might be because technically he won last week's. He got the 300-point question. You got the 200-point one. So he won. I know you don't, but we're going to jump into this week's trivia, and it's going to be around NFL's forgotten stars. So how it's going to go is we got the same as always, 100 through 500. You'll get 3 clues, and then you get 20 seconds to guess that player. Fair enough?
Fair.
All right, Derek, go first.
$500 question, please.
$500 question. I ain't giving you 500 if you get this right, just so you know. All right. So clue number 1, he's a wide receiver. Clue number 2, he is a finalist for the Hall of Fame this year. And clue number 3, if inducted or when inducted, he will be the first Hall of Fame inductee for the team he played his entire career for.
Megatron Calvin Johnson.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You are incorrect.
Barry Sanders is in the Hall of Fame, ain't he?
Barry Sanders.
He said wide receiver, though, didn't he?
But he would be the only player from that team to ever be inducted.
Oh.
So you were incorrect. The correct answer is Andre Johnson. Andre. Tom, you can go 400, 300, 200, or 1. I think I know where you're going.
For hundo.
For hundo. Okay. This forgotten NFL star is a running back. Clue number 2, he spent most of his career in the NFC East. And for the third clue, he is a 2-time Super Bowl champ. Do you know who that running back is?
Brandon Jacobs.
You are correct. That was a good one, Tom. That was a good one. I like it. All right. So we have to update the score. Tom gets it correct. Tom is back out to a. Ugh. Tom has doubled Derek up. He is at
I would have never got
1,400
that
now.
Andre Johnson one, though.
Oh, do you want to keep battling for the last 3?
Yeah, give me a 300 question.
All right, Tom. If Derek gets the 300, Tom gets the 2 and the 100, and you both will get opportunities to steal. So for 300, this is a running back. He was from the University of Tennessee, and his touchdown celebration was a namaste bow. And if you got the answer in the comments, these guys can't say it. Send me your answers. Again, running back, University of Tennessee, and his touchdown celebration was the namaste bow is the 3 hints. Do you know that running back, Derek? You got 10 seconds.
I feel like I've seen it before, but I'm just going to go Chris Johnson. I know it's not Chris Johnson.
It is not. Tom,
Go
would
ahead,
you like
Tom.
to steal?
Tennessee University. He's a Vol.
He is a
And my
Vol.
man J. Dobbs gets to start tonight.
He does. And as soon as you guys started talking about the Vols in the group chat, I knew that it was going to bring some heat to this question.
I'm just trying to think of like Tennessee running backs.
You got 5 seconds to think.
Dude, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know.
Just what's the team he plays for if Tom don't right before you said the answer?
The Houston Texans.
David Johnson?
No.
Arian Foster.
Aaron Foster.
Come on, guys. All right,
Listen,
Tom.
they're forgotten fucking players for a reason.
They are. But Foster was one of my favorite guys. All right, Tom, let's get through the 200 and 100.
It's just like real quick. Brandon Roy, like from the Portland Trailblazers, was a baller until he got injured.
Listen,
Now
we
forgot.
could do, next week maybe we'll do some forgotten NBA stars, huh? All right, Tom. For the 200-point question, he's a quarterback. He played for one team his entire career, and he is now an announcer for NFL games.
Repeat the question.
He is a quarterback. He played on the same team his entire career, and he's now an NFL announcer. Do you know, Tom? I got 5 seconds counting.
Tony Romo.
That is correct. What are you laughing at, D?
My fucking mic was muted. You didn't see me going like this. I'm going like I'm like screaming the fucking name.
I was about to. I should have just passed them.
I didn't realize it was muted.
All right. Last one. And Tom, you do get it, unfortunately, for Derek. But the 100 question is, he's a running back who's a former first draft picker, and he last played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hold on. Running back, former first-round draft pick for the Chargers, and Darren Sproles.
Ooh, that is incorrect. Derek, you need some points here, brother.
Was Sproles the Chargers or the Saints?
Both.
No, who drafted him?
I believe it was the Chargers. He came to us after the Saints.
Yeah, so he
You
last
said
played
former
for the Eagles.
first-round draft pick for the Chargers, last played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes, and you have 10 seconds.
It wasn't Jay Ajayi, was it?
It was not. The correct answer is Ryan Matthews.
Ah, fuck, I forgot about him.
Ooh, I know. That's why this is Forgotten Stars, baby. All right.
Damn.
Our score going into next week, Tom is starting to take a lead 1,600 to 700 over Derek. D, we're going to go NBA next week. Maybe we'll do NBA Forgotten Stars, something like that. So
that's a chance for Derek to catch up.
and then the following week we'll go NHL and we'll see what happens.
hard to go NHL.
All right, so real quick before we jump into again, we weren't on Sunday, so we didn't get a chance to break down all the games. So instead of spending an hour doing that, I'm going to take a quick recap of Week 16. I want you guys to bear with me for a second. We'll get through this, and then we're going to jump into some playoff scenarios because there's a shit ton of them. There's a lot of shit that could happen this week that I want to get into. So quick recap of Week 16. Let me get this up real quick. The Jaguars and their kicker Riley Patterson beat the last little bit of hope the Jets had in Zach Wilson out of them on Thursday Night Football. The Jags kick 4 field goals. They get 1 rushing touchdown with Trevor Lawrence, and they beat the Jets 19-3. The Ravens eliminate the Falcons from the playoffs while clinching their own playoff berth on the back of Snoop Huntley. Final score 17-9. Sam Darnold and the Panthers are knocking on the door of a playoff berth as they drive a stake in the heart of me and all the Detroit Lions fans. The rush attack was just too much. Jared Goff waited too long to play better, and the Panthers win 37-23. Mahomes and company hand Geno Smith and the Hawks their 3rd straight loss, knocking the Seahawks to an elimination game this week. They lose, they're out. Chiefs win 24-10, and they stay in contention for that 1 seed. The Saints stay alive while dropping the Browns out of the playoff race. Final score 17-10. The Pats make a late run at Tom's Bengals, but they fall short 22-18, making their game this week a must-win. Saquon breaks one on 4th down to bring the Giants even late, but the Vikings now a 61-yarder to beat the Giants 27-24. Josh Allen and the Bills beat up on Justin Fields and the Bears 35-13. Titans lose their 5th straight, and they lose the lead for the AFC South with a 19-14 loss to the Texans. And the Texans, Bears should pay attention. Texans win, and they still keep the number 1 overall pick at the moment. 49ers beat the starting job out of that loser, Taylor Heineke, and force Washington to go back to Carson Wentz. And suddenly I find myself rooting for Wentz again, just so that game-clinching, penalty-celebrating weasel Taylor Heineke can never start another game. San Francisco wins 37-20, and man, it looked pretty. You like that one? That was a good one.
I love that one.
The Dallas Cowboys have won the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. No, they beat Gardner Minshew and the Birds 40-34, but man, it sure felt like they won the Super Bowl after Saturday's game because I thought beating a backup quarterback wasn't something to celebrate. But, that's a topic for another day. Steelers beat the car out of Vegas, and the Raiders are on their way to a new quarterback this offseason, while the Steelers keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Packers also keep their slim hopes alive after beating the Dolphins 26-20, and suddenly the Dolphins are in danger of missing the playoffs after looking like a Super Bowl contender for most of the season. Baker and Akers deliver a backbreaking loss to the Broncos, who fired their GM after the game. Rams win 51-14. Brady once again comes alive late and leads the Bucs to a 19-16 overtime win over the Cardinals to keep their lead in the NFC South. The Tom's Chargers, clinch a playoff berth with a 20-3 victory over the Colts, who are just 2 games away from a crucial offseason that could see them landing a new quarterback. And that was Week 16 in a nutshell. Fellas, a lot of meaningful games to be played this weekend, with 15 of the 16 games having playoff implications for at least one of the 2 teams, and I don't want to waste no time. I want to jump into one of those scenarios, and the first one I want to see is Dallas versus Tennessee, which is on Thursday Night Football tonight. Dallas needs a win and a loss by Philly to keep in the hunt for not only the NFC East, but the 1 seed. And for Tennessee, this game does not matter because whether they win or lose, and whether the Jags win or lose, next week's game between the Titans and the Jags will be for the division and likely for the only playoff spot remaining. I'm coming to Derek first because his Jags are this has a lot to do with his Jags this game. Well, actually, no, it really doesn't. But D, who gets it done tonight?
So unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys are going to get it done. The Tennessee Titans, they're banged up on essentially every important position on the field, whether it be at quarterback, running back. I believe they have some things going on the defensive side. But all in all, listen, this shapes up perfectly for, I'm not saying Dallas winning tonight, but even if Dallas wins tonight, I don't think they'll get the 1 seed. But, even if Dallas wins tonight, that game next week is going to be, probably the game of the week. And it's just, It shapes up for the Jaguars to, come back after losing so many games in the beginning of the season and actually making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Tom, what do you feel on the game?
Yeah, well, Dallas won't get the 1 seed or the division because the Eagles are locking it up Sunday. But it's all put into a matchup where it's going to be the NFC divisional round where Dallas is going to be coming to Philly and we're going to be playing for a third time. Just assuming that they get the 3rd seed and the 5th seed and the 6th and 7th seed lose. And Dallas wins, of course, against Minnesota. But yeah, Dallas takes Tennessee. Tennessee's done. Their season's over. No Derrick Henry. They're shutting Derrick Henry down. Ryan Tannehill. They finally know that Malik Willis is absolute dog shit. And they're giving the guy that they just picked up off of the Detroit Lions practice squad 8 days ago to start. So I think they're just seeing what they have. And, Dallas wins the game easily.
How can you already assume that Malik Willis is ass, Tom?
Because they won't even give him the start today. They benched him.
He has been, but I think this is more of a – they already know – they've seen how bad Malik Willis has been, and maybe they're just trying to see if the other guy can light a little bit of a spark. But honestly, that the reason they shut him down, they're going to have to run through Jacksonville to win that game because their pass defense is atrocious. Tannehill's done for the season, and they already had a weak passing game to begin with. That whole city is on the back of Derrick Henry. It has, as it's been for the last 4 or 5 years, 4 years, 3-4 years, and I don't see them getting it done. I would like to see the Jags get in there, but hey, we will see.
But what's crazy though is even if Tennessee loses this game, all they have to do is beat the Jags next week to win a division.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So he's going to have to.
We'll see who the starting quarterback is next week. If it's Joshua Dobbs, then the Tennessee Titans are completely done with Malik Willis.
Nah,
you believe after a couple games where they basically had to throw him in the fire because Tannehill was injured.
Yeah, why are your division? You're putting Joshua Dobbs in, who's only been there for 8 days. Why are you starting Joshua Dobbs over Malik Willis in a game that means?
How long has Joshua Dobbs been in the league, Tom?
He's been a backup quarterback for what, 3 years, and maybe played a total of 3 games.
Backup quarterbacks make the best coaches. They learn offensive schemes. They learn a lot of shit. So when you put in a clutch position,
teams though, he was a 3rd string quarterback in Pittsburgh who half the time he didn't even suit up.
I don't know. Maybe you're right, or maybe they don't want to put Malik Willis in there because the game next week means more.
It's like a couple episodes where I said Zach Wilson's career in New York is done, and everybody said there's no way. And now everybody's on the board of saying that his career in New York is done after the last game.
Well, I mean, Zach Wilson started for 2 seasons, Tom.
But I'm just saying, like, they don't have the it. They're not the guy.
So you're willing to say that on Malik Willis this soon?
Malik Willis would never be a starting quarterback for a team in the NFL.
How many honestly from all right, so from beginning to the end, how many Malik Willis games have you watched? Because he's only played in about 5 or 6. So you're able to judge him off of 2 games.
Absolutely.
How?
Easy. How? He's not good. They won't even let him throw the ball.
They didn't let Justin Fields throw the ball.
They're not going to.
You think Justin Fields is done?
No, Justin Fields is good though.
I don't understand your logic, honestly. I don't understand how you can.
So listen, if we had this same show last year, you would be a guy that says Trevor Lawrence's career is done in Jacksonville.
No,
he had a terrible season last year. You would be on the same.
Yeah, but you're comparing to Trevor Lawrence, who has a terrible Jacksonville team with a terrible coach that's coming into a terrible organization.
What team does Malik Willis have? That defense is shit.
He
has a defensive-minded head coach.
Tennessee has a decent team, though. They have
Derrick Henry,
and they have a good head coach. That's all you need is a good head coach. You're going to sit there and tell me Mike Vrabel's not a good head coach?
No.
How does a team win the number 1 seed and all of a sudden they're not good?
Derrick Henry.
Stop. And Ryan Tannehill was a very serviceable quarterback last year,
bro.
But Tom, you can't say somebody's a good head coach when they specialize in defense and their fucking defense stinks.
I will make a bet with you that Malik Willis will never be a starting quarterback for an NFL team.
Done. I'll shake right now.
Not saying he starts games. He will never be the number one. He will never be QB1.
I know you can't say that.
So no. I'll make you a bet right here, right now.
Go ahead.
But you got to give me something good. You know what I'm coming for, and I'll pick my head, motherfucker.
What's your bet?
Malik
That's
Willis
weird.
will be the starting quarterback of the Tennessee Titans next year or the year after. Going into game 1, he will go into the season as the QB1.
Bearing injury.
Barring injury, they're not bringing Tannehill back, bro.
What's Tannehill's contract?
I don't know, but they ain't fucking starting him. I can tell you that. I could tell you that, Tom. I just don't. I don't know, man. Am I tripping? How can you judge somebody that fucking quick? This is the NFL. We've seen dudes. Listen, we are the same fan base that decorated Carson Wentz as the next greatest quarterback of all time, and then turns out that he's dog shit. And you were one of those people. So forgive me if I don't trust you.
Wentz isn't dog shit.
He's not. I love the guy. I love the guy now. I want him to win, but he's not. Everywhere he's gone
it's just another guy who's just being mentally soft doesn't make you dog shit.
Yeah, but Tom, the Colts literally went after Matt Ryan instead of him.
And he had 2 injuries, and that just ruined his career damn near.
I will say one thing for the Colts. They couldn't wait to get Carson out of there, and look how bad they are this year. And all that stems back to their quarterback play.
Yep.
I know Carson wasn't a world beater there.
He was better than Matt Ryan.
They were in playoff contention. He was better than Ryan. He was better than Foles. He was better than Sam Ellinger. It's been quarterback carousel with fucking nobodies.
Yeah, but it comes down to Nick Foles has never had a successful year unless he was in the Eagles jersey.
That is true. That is true.
He's a service. He's a quarterback that can never be a QB1.
All right, so I got a question. Do either of you? All right, so will the Titans win the AFC South, Tom?
No.
So everyone's on board with the Jags winning.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see a scenario where Dallas beats Tennessee and Washington, while Philly loses the New Orleans and New York Giants, meaning Dallas wins the East and potentially the 1 seed, depending on what happens with the Vikings? Either of you?
No. I think we at least.
I
think we win one game at least, because all we have to do is win one game.
Jalen Hurts is playing on Sunday.
Even if Hurts doesn't play, we're still.
I think we still beat the Saints. Yes.
Okay. Now, what if Hurts is inactive? Right. Hurts is inactive, and first or second series of the game, Minshew goes down.
Who's our 3rd string quarterback?
Carson Strong.
No, it's Reed Sinnett or some shit.
Carson Strong's not even on.
Strong just signed with Arizona or something.
Oh,
he ain't been. He ain't been with us. He ain't been with us since the preseason.
No, I'm all on board. I think Jalen Hurts first time he's back at practice today, throwing the ball. I 100% think he's playing on Sunday.
Yeah, I think we seal the deal and then sit our starters week 17.
Well, one thing we do got going for us is the Giants have the easiest clinching scenario out of any of the remaining NFC teams that have yet to clinch. So if the Giants are able to clinch this week, and they don't even have to win to clinch, they just need 2 teams that are playing better teams to lose, and that very well could happen. We could face a Week 18 Giants that are kind of sitting Saquon, maybe sitting Daniel Jones and some of those players to get themselves ready for the playoffs. But remains to be seen. Again, Thursday Night Football kicking off in a little bit. Dallas Cowboys versus the Tennessee Titans. Let's jump over to the game of the year by my accord. The Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals. If the Bengals will fall out of contention for the 1 seed with a loss, the Bills can fall as far as the 3 seed with a loss and a Kansas City win over Denver, because they would get leapfrogged by Cincinnati as well. Who's the better team in this matchup? Tom, I'm coming to you first.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Better as a team than the Buffalo Bills?
Yes.
Why?
I mean, they're just playing all around better offense. I mean, Joe Burrow literally gets everybody involved, whether it's T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, or Jamar Chase. I mean, Stephon Diggs is on the milk carton right now. Nobody knows what's going on with that. I mean, Josh Allen can't get all of his guys involved, and the Buffalo Bills are a team that do not look like the Buffalo Bills should be looking right now. I mean, they struggle. I mean, they bearing that they struggled against Chicago. Still, it doesn't matter because it's still an NFL team. I don't base that on anything. But I mean, the past couple weeks, what have they done that surprises you?
They've won.
So it's Cincinnati.
I'm just saying, what have they done? 1, 2, 3,
Cincinnati
4,
showed you
5,
what they've done. I
6.
mean,
They've won 6 straight games. They haven't lost since the middle of November.
and Cincinnati hasn't lost in what, 8 games?
Yeah, I'm just.
I mean,
you
Cincinnati.
asked.
I got you. But I think Cincinnati has the better offense. They have the better running back. I mean, can we sit there? We can sit there and say Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs. Maybe you're going to give the edge to Stephon Diggs. But other than that, T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are better than Gabriel Davis and whoever their third guy is.
Who's the better quarterback
right now this year? Joe Burrow.
Right now, overall,
Joe Burrow.
You're taking Burrow over Josh Allen.
Right this second, playing this year, yes.
D, who's the better team?
All right, so the better team right now is the Cincinnati Bengals, just because I think they have an edge on defense right now when it comes to, just too many injuries on the Bills. So, again, I give the edge to the Bengals because, again, I feel like their offenses they're like kind of neck and neck in my opinion. But the Bengals do have the better defense of right now. I'm not saying if the Bills had their full defense that they would be. Right now, the Bengals do have a better team. Who I'm picking to win this game is the goddamn Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
Stand up, Bills Mafia. So pick them is the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills defense has been healthy for the past 2 weeks now, I believe.
Von Miller's back?
But
Micah Hyde's back. Jordan Poyer's back.
Tre'Davious White's back.
Is Von Miller back?
Is Micah Hyde? Is Jordan Poyer back? Don't say they're healthy, Tom.
Tre'Davious White's back.
Is Von Miller back?
Tom, that's like
they're getting healthy.
You said they are healthy
the last 2 weeks.
They aren't. Dude, are you kidding me?
That's like take it this way, Tom. It's like if Burrow, Mixon, and Jamar Chase and Higgins were all hurt, right? And Burrow comes back, and then Derek comes on here and says, the Bengals have been healthy for the last 2 weeks. No, they're still missing key pieces, Tom. Don't be that lazy. That's a lazy thing to say. Tom, who wins the game?
That doesn't make sense because they're not missing they're not missing their entire defense, though.
They're not?
No.
They're missing their starting safeties. They're missing one of the best edge rush.
You're literally taking away the Bengals' entire offense in that scenario. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's a terrible scenario.
Bro.
Because Joe Burrow has won without Joe Mixon and Jamar Chase.
Okay, but I'm just taking exception to you saying that the Buffalo Bills are healthy on defense when, in fact, they are not healthy. Tom. Matt Milano's still dealing with injuries. Jordan Poyer has not been seen. Micah Hyde, fucking Von Miller. Like, these are big players. These are important players.
Come on, stop, Tom. I know you love the Bengals, but the Bills are gonna win. All right. The winning streak of the Bengals ends Monday. And then I want you to come on here and apologize to me and eat crow like I have been to you.
All right, so I sent you guys my show notes coming in, and the questions around this was who's the better quarterback, who's the better team, who wins, which Derek got the Bills, Tom got the Bengals. I'm going to go Buffalo here. But the last question is, and this is just me looking ahead, what's the bet? Is there any bet on this? Any chugs, any beers, anything?
I'll do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do some beer chugs, he probably wants to do some butt chugs, but I'm not into that. But if he wants to do some beer chugs, some shots, whatever, we can do it.
All right, so I want in on this too. Tom, will you accept the 2-1 odds? If you lose to us, to Buffalo, you got 4 beers, and we do 2 each.
Now he's going to say, oh, it's not fair, because that's what Tom does.
You do 2 each?
Yeah.
Well, we're making individual bets with you.
So
I want in on it.
2 beers bet for you and 2 beers bet for you.
Yeah.
That's easy. I can't wait to watch you guys chug.
Okay.
And Rye, I want you to chug a beer. I don't want no shot.
I'll fucking don't
And
tempt
a
me, cuz.
beer, not a twisted tea. I want to see you struggle chugging a fucking Coors Light.
I will never struggle drinking beer. I'm not 17 anymore, Tom. I've been drinking beers my whole life. All right. Let's jump.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say who the better quarterback was.
Oh, who's the better quarterback, D?
Tom, who do you think I think the better quarterback is?
Bro, I mean, we all know the answer to this.
Who?
But the question's
no. You can't answer a question with a question.
I can.
Who do you?
I'm not answering the question with a question. I'm saying that the question is not the better overall quarterback. We're talking about the quarterback this year.
Okay, I'm just saying though.
You're going to say Josh Allen
because you're right. You're right. I pick Josh Allen. Next question, Ryan.
All right, let's jump on to the next question.
Right,
Josh Allen's the better quarterback.
No. Right, who are you taking right now?
Josh Allen. Josh Allen, 10 times over, Thomas. Isaiah Gibson in the comments. Hi, Dad. What's up, boo? My guy, I liking the glasses and the pics. Your Uncle Tom is a crazy man. He's a crazy man, boo. He is. All right, let's jump on to the next one. The Miami Dolphins, the New England Patriots in a must-win game for both teams. Only if the Patriots lose, they're out. If Miami loses, they're not out just yet. But with their quarterback situation, they could be on the verge of an elimination. But Miami can clinch with a win and a Jets loss. Tua is out due to a concussion. Teddy B is going to start. And it's starting to look like it's a realistic chance that the Patriots could miss the playoffs. And a lot of it falls on the shoulders of that ridiculous lateral we seen against the Raiders a few weeks ago. D, can the Pats hold off elimination, or is this the end of the road?
This is the end of the road for the Pats. I think Teddy Two Gloves gets it done. The Patriots are just a dysfunctional organization right now. First the lateral, and then last week Ramondre fumbles. I mean, they're just in disarray right now. This is not a Bill Belichick coach team. I mean, frankly, he's probably on his way out because he has two quarterbacks that, frankly, probably neither one of them are the future of that, future quarterback of that team. Mac Jones is not good. I haven't even watched Zappy, but I can tell you he's probably not good. And just their team overall, like they used to predicate themselves on like being like a defensive team, and now they have a defensive coordinator as an offensive coordinator. They're just
and a well-coached team.
Yeah, and that team is just you can just tell there's no discipline whatsoever on that team. So I think Miami comes in, they get it done. Tua comes back, for the playoffs, and maybe they can turn it around and make some noise in the playoffs because they have stunk as of late. I don't even have them in my power rankings as of now.
Ooh, no, Tom. Can the Pats hold off elimination, or is this the end of the road?
It's the end of the road for Mac Jones.
So you're saying he's never going to be a starting quarterback ever again, right, Tom?
Never, ever, Tom. Never, ever.
He's a fucking QB2 too, fucking bum.
But I'm saying, are you going to say that?
The end of the season for Mac Jones, Derek.
Okay, but I mean, you're saying this is the end of the road for him. You said that about Zach Wilson.
Malik Willis is dog shit.
No, I'm said the
so
same
Mac
thing
Jones.
about Zach Wilson. And look, Zach Wilson, his road is probably done. I'm just repeating stuff that you said. I asked you a question. Don't get defensive about it. Don't go back to the Malik Willis thing. You're the one that just said it's the end of the road for Mac Jones.
Hit the road.
It is the end of the road. The playoff on the road. He's on fucking I-80, whatever road that is, and it's coming to an end, a halt, because Teddy B and that track star team are going to win the game.
All right, so that was my next question, and it was, let's say Miami wins this. I don't know if Tua plays another game this year. Playoffs, I think he'll play playoffs, but that dude's had too many concussions. If Teddy leads the way the rest of the way, let's say Miami wins this game, the Jets don't lose, they have to win again next week. Can Teddy B take the Dolphins to the playoffs, pretty much winning out the next 2 weeks?
Who do the Dolphins play next week?
The Dolphins are against the Jets next week. It will be a winner take all. If the Jets win and the Dolphins win, that'll be a winner take all game. And they're going against your favorite head coach of all time, Robert Saleh, and my favorite quarterback of all time, Mike White. Dolphins win there too, Tom? Hmm? Hmm? Are you hitching your wagon to the Dolphins, Tom? Huh?
Slightly, only because they're. I mean, not. I mean, I don't know. I like the Jets too with Mike
Jets
White.
defense are
Jets
nice.
defense is just fucking so good. They might be the best defense in football right now,
They might be. They might
all
be. All right.
around. I mean, and they got. They just need a quarterback that. I mean, they need somebody that can sling the rock, and Mike White can do that. So at least he's
All
not
right. So
scared to throw the ball.
he's not. That's one thing I will give my guy. Tom, who wins the game? Pats, Dolphins. I think we
Dolphins.
all know. D, same?
Yes, the Miami Dolphins of Miami.
All right. I'm going Patriots.
Nice.
And I'll tell you why. Because Bill Belichick does a better job. I've said this. He does two things great. He likes to violate younger quarterbacks, and Teddy's not a younger quarterback, but I think Bill can get to him, and he does a very good job of shutting down the opposite teams or the opposing team's number one threat. So I like to think that he will have something in store for Tyreek Hill and Waddle. If you can slow them down in any aspect, I think the Patriots might be able to do that. And then I think from there, I just don't. I don't trust this Dolphins team with Tua, and I think they're 10 times better with Tua than they're going to be with Teddy. I think the Pats keep it alive for one more week before they go, and I think the Pats play Buffalo next week. Yeah, I don't think they're making the playoffs, but I do think the Pats win this game. All right, let's jump.
Right. Don't get me wrong. Besides the last thing about the Patriots winning, I do agree with everything that you're saying. I don't think the Dolphins are going to beat the Patriots. I think the Patriots have been making so many dumb mistakes that they're going to beat themselves.
Yeah, I can see, and it's wild. It's wild how they've gone from being. I mean, we know the Patriots as Super Bowl winners. They're a fucking top class organization when it comes to winning, when it comes to being disciplined, and when it comes to being a very well and smartly coached football team. They don't make the mistakes that they've been making recently. So I just think this is a turning of the tide, or maybe it's just a lapse. Maybe it's just a lapse, and we know that their quarterback situation isn't the best. I think Mac Jones, if they don't make the playoffs, I think he's done in New England, not because he won't go somewhere else and start, but because I am firmly on the back of Tom Brady is returning to New England. He's going to play 2 seasons there before he retires, and that's just how that's going to go down. And they'll fucking watch. They'll wind up winning the Super Bowl somehow.
Did you guys talk about on the last episode how that girl was like in that guy's face over the celebration for the Raiders and the Patriots game?
We didn't, but I seen what happened after.
Yeah, that's what I was. If you guys did talk about it, I was just gonna follow up on it.
But Raiders fans are the Raiders as an organization are dysfunctional, and their fans are just even worse. That dude's better than me, woman or not. I at least gotta mush your face out of my face. Like don't fucking scream in my face like that.
And it was a meaningless game. It wasn't like you won the Super Bowl. And I know us as fans, we express how we love our teams, but just that was like over the top. Like she was in that guy's face. I don't know how he kept his composure. Because I mean, I think I just would have snapped out at some point, like literally.
Some people can handle that. Some people do a really good job of keeping themselves in check. And hey, kudos to that guy that worked out to his benefit. He got to go to their last week game where they lost. He got to go in the suite, meet Robert Kraft. He got a bunch of gifts, and it worked out in his favor. But yeah, that lady was a little over the top. I think I definitely would have mushed her. Anyway, let's jump over to the New Orleans Saints traveling to Philly to take on the Birds, and the Eagles can clinch the NFC East and the 1 seed with a win. The Saints are eliminated with a loss, but they can stay alive with a win and some other help. Still no official word on Jalen Hurts. Tom's expecting Hurts to play. I'm thinking we see Minshew. Even if Jalen dresses, I feel like it could be an emergency quarterback role. Like, all right, if Minshew gets hurt, you're in. If we're down 7 going into the second half, or we're down a couple, you're in. Go win us the game. I don't know if they're gonna start him, but we'll see. But if Minshew does start, okay, can the Eagles realistically get out of there with a win versus A Saints defense that hasn't been the greatest, but they're still a very solid unit. D, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, again, I think Minshew or Hurts, they get it done against the Saints. Number one, because we all know what we have riding on the Saints. What we've had been riding on the Saints, which is that pick. So, even a loss to them puts us in a little bit of better position if they lose the next week. Again, I just think we're a better team. I think our defense is going to get to the Saints quarterbacks, whether they have the dual threat going or Andy Dalton in there, whoever's in there. We're definitely going to get to them. And I think this is just going to be a run the rock game. It's going to be a nice day on Sunday. So, let's run the rock. Let's get our running backs going. I'm tired of the carousel. Just give Miles Sanders the ball if he plays this week. Get him going. And that opens up everything else in the passing game. But just control the clock. We have Minshew in, just control the clock. That's it. And we win the game.
Even with Sanders fumble in the last couple weeks, you still want to just give it to him and just let him fucking.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, it's probably a mind thing with him. My theory with running backs is they have to get into some type of rhythm. When he's only getting 11 touches, 12 touches a game, and then you have 3 other running backs in there, it's kind of tough to get into that rhythm. So, maybe it was, it's been colder the past couple of games, whatever. He gets the rock and just he's not ready to go. I mean, we've all been in that situation when, even for instance, when you play baseball and you sit on a bench and you're not warmed up, you're cold. You go up the bat, it's kind of like, damn, I haven't had the juices flowing all game, and now I'm in, to make this hit. It's kind of like the same thing, I feel, with a running back. I feel like they just have to get him going sooner and more often.
We've seen this out of Miles before where he has fumbling issues, and he typically will go through a rough patch, and then he'll rebound pretty well, keep his hand on the ball. A little tighter, but we'll see. It remains to be seen. I already know Tom feels like Gardner could win, but Tom, will the Eagles defense show up in this game? Because they didn't last week versus Dallas.
Listen, man, as long as fucking Darius Slay gets his head out of his ass and stops getting slayed himself, we have.
I see what you did.
I mean, the defense, the front defense, the front seven's playing good. It's just like that last play on Darius Slay won. As a veteran knowing you have Josiah Scott and you're in a cover 2 defense, why I'm still mad about that play.
Are you talking about the 9 route, the one where Slay bit on the under route trying to maybe help Scott?
Okay. I'm talking about the 3rd and 30. No, I'm talking about the 3rd and 30 play.
I'm talking about the touchdown to CD.
No, I know what you're talking. No, that's another one. That's another play. It's like when you're a veteran cornerback like Darius Slay, you can't just leave a guy like Josiah Scott out there to dry. Even though Josiah Scott should have still had the pick. Don't get me wrong. That play, Darius Slay got caught looking in the backfield, and he's been getting caught looking in the backfield.
Yeah, but Tom, you don't blame that on coaching a little bit?
No, absolutely. No. That's why I said, why are you in a cover 2 defense in a play like that? A cover 4. If a play like that, you drop everybody back. That's a play that you can drop people back. Right. On 3rd and 30. Like you have 2 phenomenal defensive plays, and then you lit up a 3rd and 30.
Well, so Slay did some finger pointing when it comes to Josiah Scott, which I didn't like, especially as a captain.
Yeah.
But Slay got beat on 2 crucial 2 times where we get the ball back. Our offense gets the ball back, and both of those drives lead the points. That 3rd and 30, Slay gets cooked, or Slay got beat there. On the 4th and 8 to T.Y. Hilton, Hilton draws the defensive penalty on Slay, and then the touchdown to C.D. Lamb. So three drives that 2 could have been done, and the other one at the very least would have been a defensive pass. Or if Dak makes that throw, that could be picked. And Slay was on the losing end of all 3 of them. So the one thing about it is, though, Slay is an all-pro corner. Look at all the shit that went wrong. Gardner Minshew misses Quez Watkins on a wide open touchdown across the middle that would have made it. What was it? It was 14-10 at that point. I forget exactly what it was, but Jalen Hurts makes that throw. So there's a lot of throws that Minshew missed. Slightly
I didn't see
horrible.
if you noticed that he threw off his back foot a lot in that game.
Yeah.
He's he's not hurt. He's not hurt. And I hate the fucking narrative that, oh my God, Philadelphia scored 34 with Minshew, so it is the system. It's like, no, Minshew, Sirianni fucking schemed up some good. The touchdown to on 4th and 3 to Devontae Smith. Trayvon Diggs was following AJ Brown everywhere, right? Leaving their second corner on Devontae Smith. But Trayvon Diggs is the ball hawk. He's the one that's hungry to make that pick and take it to the end zone, right? So Sirianni schemes up on 4th and 3. They send Goddard in motion. And pretty much they wanted Diggs one-on-one with Devontae Smith because to accomplish that, they were in a one wide receiver set and they had AJ Brown on a bench. And Devontae Smith was the one in the game. So Diggs is on Smith. They send Goddard in motion across to throw a flat to him, and Diggs bites on it, and it lets Smith get behind him for that corner touchdown on that 4th and 3. And shit like that. Like Sirianni and this, they know that Diggs is a ball hawk. So they play off those tendencies. They show him Dallas Goddard in his face on a drag, like, hey, here, you could take this to the crib. Boom, hit it behind him for a touchdown. And it's shit like that. They do stuff like that with Hurts, right? But then on the other plays where Minshew didn't make the throws to Quez and didn't make certain other good decisions, Hurts has shown all season he makes those plays. So yes, I've had arguments all week. I do think that the Eagles would have won that game with Hurts, but hey, I guess we will never know. I'm going to mark us all three down as Eagles winning because I don't see any of us taking the Saints.
Yo, the fact that you brought that up on that play that you were just talking about, the Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Two things I want to say. One, AJ Brown is the fucking man for playing that off the way he did. How he was like screaming mad that he was coming out of the game, knowing that the defense. When you bring AJ Brown out of the game, there's one thing that you're thinking is you're going to run the ball.
Yep.
You're taking your best wide receiver out of the game to bring in another lineman. Is what they did. And like you said, when Dallas Goedert went in motion, he went to the flat, and Devontae Smith went straight up to Diggs and act like he was going to block him. Didn't touch him, and Diggs tried to run around. He tried to run around Devontae Smith to go up to, like you said, Dallas Goedert, which left Devontae Smith wide open.
Dude, it was a. And then you see on the sideline, Sirianni and Shane Steichen, they're like, boom, they're like, all hype, like that's exactly what they designed, and it worked like a fucking charm.
I see AJ Brown going out of the game, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you taking?" I'm literally screaming, like, "Why are you taking AJ Brown out of this game right now?" I'm like, "They have to be running the ball."
Okay, let's go, Joshua Dobbs. Holding.
Yeah, it was some good shit to see from our coaches. All right, let's jump over into, and again, we're going off of playoff scenarios. The New York Giants and the Indianapolis Colts. Giants can clinch a playoff spot with a win or losses by both Washington and Seattle. Colts are already out. Tom, are the Giants making the playoffs for the first time since 2016?
Woo. Well, with the scenarios, I do think I do think Seattle loses this week. And I don't know what type of. And I think Washington beats Cleveland. So I do think it's going to come down to the Giants game next week against us. And that's where it comes down to: are we going to play spoiler? Or we're going to spoil the Giants season?
In order for us to spoil their season, they need to lose to the Colts. Are you backing the Colts? If they beat the Colts, they clinch. It's over. They rest their starters against us next week. Huh?
Nick Foles starting for the Colts?
Possibly. He's looking like the starter.
Giants are going to win.
D, what do you think? Giants going to the playoffs?
Yes, the Giants are going to the playoffs. And, I kind of hate to see it because for whatever reason, when the Giants are in the wild card, magical shit happens. The only thing they don't have is Eli Manning. Yeah. But it's kind of like the same scenario. They had a good running game, good defense when they won the Super Bowl. So, even though their defense has dropped off tremendously, but again, I do think the Giants are going to win this game and they are going to go to the playoffs. But they will get knocked out in the first round. I don't care who they play.
All right. Well, Does anybody? All right. The Colts ain't making the playoffs. They got a nice roster around them. Great running back, obviously. They got a good defense. They do need some more weapons on offense. But who would you like to see as quarterback of the Colts next year, D?
Quarterback of the Colts. It's going to
I mean, you
sound
got.
crazy, but Baker Mayfield.
I was gonna go there. Baker, moneymaker. Tom, do you agree, or you go in?
I
I don't
think
know.
Baker
Let's
Mayfield
say
stays. I think Baker Mayfield stays in LA.
Not
as
if
a
he gets the starting
backup.
job.
I don't know. I don't know if the Rams. What is Stafford's contract?
He's there
Ain't
for a little bit longer.
too
Like at
too
least
much to
two.
pass on to somebody else.
I
Honestly,
don't
I
know.
I I, I
I don't
don't
know if
see
the
them
Rams
being
are
able to
done
get
with
out of that.
Stafford. I don't know.
The
Malik Willis
Rams
is
are in.
going to the Colts.
Malik Willis to the Colts. You think they're going to trade their?
No.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Marcus Mariota to the Colts? Nah.
No.
No, I would like. I think Baker fits them. I think he does because again, they just need a game manager. Tote the rock with Jonathan Taylor, get that defense going because their defense was good in the beginning of the season. They were pretty decent, but just add a few pieces on defense, add that quarterback. Try to make a wild card or
Zach Wilson.
whatever, and try to do some. Listen, that's another candidate.
Look, just to give you an idea, Baker. These are some guys that are looking at free agency. Baker, Sam Darnold, Jimmy G. You got Geno. You got Mike White, Heineke, Lamar. I mean, you got some names here. Nothing crazy. Nathan Peterman, little Nathan Peterman action. Gardner Minshew. Does Gardner go to the Colts? I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Let me see. Let's jump into
I think Jimmy
Panther.
G resigns with the Niners. By the way,
Why? You think he's done as a starter in the league
no, I think Jimmy G is going to be starting quarterback for the Niners.
next year with Lance and Purdy now?
No, no way,
Yeah, I don't
no
see
way,
that.
Tommy boy, no way.
Maybe. I think Purdy is going to buy himself a off-season competition with Trey Lance. I think Jimmy G's out of there.
That's
But he
possibly. I
did
mean,
say he did
there's
say he's
reports
open.
saying he's
Yep.
open to returning to the Niners. So
He could come back as that backup quarterback, but like more of like a player coach
or
role.
Jimmy G going back to New England.
Mm. I don't think he goes back to New England. I think
Or
if they wanted a very mediocre mid quarterback, they would just keep fucking Mac Jones.
Jimmy G going to Indianapolis, dude.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Win for the Panthers puts them in the lead for the NFC South. And that win, paired with a win next week over the Saints, is the key for them to get into the playoffs by way of winning the NFC South. For the Bucks, they just need to win, and they clinch the NFC South. Which team has a better chance to win a playoff game versus Dallas or Philly? Because that's kind of who they're looking to match up against in round one.
I'm gonna go with the Carolina Panthers. And the reason why I'm going to go with them, I feel like they're a hot team. They're like that Jaguars, Bengals team that are just hot right now. And I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just ran out of steam. I just don't think they have it in them anymore. I think this might be a year that Tom Brady doesn't make the playoffs because we shouldn't even be speaking about this late in the season. This
Mhm.
this division should have already been wrapped up 5 weeks ago.
Bye,
And
Brady.
Tom Brady and the Buccaneers just continue to leave the door open for these teams that could still make it in their division, which is just mind-boggling to me. So, of course, I don't think either team can beat Philly or Dallas, but I would take the Panthers over the Buccaneers to win a game against, to have a better chance.
Okay, Tom, I'm gonna rephrase a little. I'm gonna rephrase it a little different for you. Who wins the South right now? Tampa Bay, Carolina, and New Orleans are all alive. But New Orleans would need to win out. They would need the Bucks to lose out, and they need the Panthers to win this week, but lose in Week 18. So, out of those three teams, who wins the NFC South?
All right, the Bucks. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. And Ryan and Derek, we say it all the time. What does the NFL love?
Storylines.
All right. So you're going into the playoffs. What would the NFL? What's going to sell and what's people going to watch more? Tyson Hill and Andy Dalton, Sam Darnold, or Tom Brady in the playoffs?
I mean,
I don't know. Sam I
it's
am
kind
is
of
looking a little
tough.
dangerous.
No,
It's kind of
everybody
tough
wants.
because the Panthers have a great story too. They fire their head coach and make a run and make it to the
Oh,
playoffs.
they fire
Everybody
their
wants
head.
Tom Brady in the
Oh,
playoffs. Though is my
And I
point.
think they would
hold
probably
on.
make the playoffs with the worst record to ever make the playoffs.
Hold
Maybe.
on.
I don't quote
Hold
me
on.
on that.
The Panthers. They started 1-4. They traded the best player on their team, Christian McCaffrey. They fired their head coach, and their interim head coach, Steve Wilkes, has led them to a place where maybe now. And again, they would have to beat the Bucks and knock off Brady. And I agree. The storyline is there to go from Baker to Sam Darnold to PJ Walker, and then just continue that carousel to fire your coach, trade your best player, and then rebound and make the playoffs. Keep
And
pounding,
release
baby.
Baker
That's a hell of
Mayfield.
a story. And then they
Right.
cut Baker Mayfield.
Right.
I don't
The
know.
NFL wants Tom Brady in the playoffs. The fix is going to be in. The Bucks are going to win the game.
Tom, is Brady done in Tampa Bay after this year?
I think Brady's done football after this year.
What? Have you heard any of his recent interviews? Do you think he's done too?
And Tampa Bay, I think he's done.
I think he's done in Tampa. I don't think he's
Yeah.
done in the league.
I'll never say Tom Brady's done in the league until I hear from his mouth.
Well, he was just
And
on his
even
pod.
and even if I heard it from his mouth, I still wouldn't believe it.
Well, he came out on his podcast this week or last week and was like, when it comes to that, I'm not even thinking about that right now. And when that day comes, I'm going to make sure it's what I want, because last time it wasn't. I don't know. I think listen, in the Madden League and BG, this dude Tom Brady is 48 years old and he's still active in our season. I think Brady is playing till he's 50, Tom.
I think he's done. I think his body. I think he's after this year. He's been hit too many times. He's regressing. I think he's done. I think he's going to retire after this year. That's just my opinion.
All right, D. If
Who's
again,
the
I
oldest
want to.
quarterback? Was it Vinny Testaverde?
I think
What?
Vinny was only like 44, which Brady. I forget. I'd have
Brady-
to look.
Hold on. As of yesterday, Brady has officially spent 50% of his entire life in the NFL.
Yeah, I seen that.
I seen that
Wild.
stat.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
Tom has spent 100% of his NFL career on his pecker.
Greatest quarterback ever, brother.
Greatest quarterback ever. Anyway, all right. D. I mentioned earlier that the Panthers started 1-4. They traded C-Mac. They fired their coach, and Steve Wilkes has led them to a potential playoff berth. Whether or not he gets them into the playoffs, has he earned himself the nod to become the Panther? Oh, and he got an endorsement by his players publicly that they want him as the next head coach, and that goes a long way. Has he earned the spot, or has he earned a chance to become the next permanent head coach of the Carolina Panthers?
I wouldn't say, head coach, yes. Permanent, meaning years, no. I think you give him a 1-year contract and kind of just see how he does. Even if they have a terrible season next year, though, but you see progression, like they're losing a good team by a touchdown or by 3 points. That's progression. If they're making progression, then I think you give them, because I mean that team, their defense. If they put a couple pieces there, it could be better. But I mean, what he's done with this team is crazy. Like it is amazing. So, and if you have your players backing you too, that means those players are playing up for him. So yeah, you give him. I think you give him a year contract, see how it goes, and then from there, because I mean, what did they give Matt Rule? Like a 10-year contract or something? I remember he had like an insane contract, which was like crazy because he coached Temple and then went to Baylor. So that was kind of like crazy for him to get that contract. So yeah, I'm on board with him definitely getting a nod for next year at least.
Yeah, he got a 7-year, $62 million contract.
Yeah, it's crazy that's crazy for a coach.
So D, who wins the game?
I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I'm gonna ride the hot hand. I'm going Panthers.
Interesting. Tom, who wins?
Bucks.
I'm with you, but I'm with you, Tom. I do like the story of the Panthers. I think that Darnold has a chance here to I think Darnold got a chance to do something special here, but again, I think I trust Tom just a little bit more. All right. Not you, you bum. I don't trust.
Just like we trusted the Lions last week, and look what happened there.
Hey. Hey.
One game after the season.
I am emotional, Tom. I will go off on you. Don't you fucking talk about my Lions. Your Chargers finally made the fucking playoffs for the first time since what, 2016 or 18?
You talk about Derek's Raiders.
No,
they were in the playoffs. They beat your Chargers to get in the playoffs last year.
Please don't talk about them.
Leave the past in the past, brother. Talking about now in the future.
Oh, please don't bring up that dysfunctional team.
That was that tie game. They both tied, and the Steelers got eliminated. I remember. Never mind. All right, let's jump over to the Chiefs and the Broncos. The Chiefs need a win to keep pace for the 1 seed. The Broncos are a dumpster fire. They fired their GM, and they have questions at the quarterback position, regardless of what their owner says. But for the first time this season, from my memory, the first time this season, and it just so happens to be the week that they fire their GM, one of those Denver Broncos players comes out in support of Russ. Jerry Jeudy came out and said that he's never been motivated more by a teammate than he has with Russ, and that Russ is dedicated because who was it? Shannon Sharp came out and said he wants to be more famous or whatever. And it's looking like maybe next year could be a rebound season. We'll see. But on the flip side, the Chiefs are playing for they're playing for that 1 seed. And a note I have here, Pat Mahomes has never played a road playoff game that wasn't a Super Bowl. So the Chiefs need a Bills loss, and they need to win out versus Denver and Vegas to clinch the 1 seed. Tom, if the Chiefs, or you know what, Derek, if the Chiefs get the bye week and they're the 1 seed, are they going back to the Super Bowl?
No.
Who will knock them off? Well, who's
the Buffalo Bills?
Okay, so Buffalo's going to go back in and get that revenge game.
Yes.
I
still feel like the Bills have what it takes to make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay, Tom, if they get the 1 seed, does that sway you in any way of thinking that they have the advantage, at least on paper, over your Bengals?
Undefeated 3-0 Joe Cool is going to go back into KC again in the AFC Championship game again, and he's going to win again.
It's a whole lot of agains, but it could happen. Yo, he does have
Mahomes, brother, 3-0.
What are you
in
trying
1
to be
year?
like?
So he's going to get his first win in 2023 against Patrick Mahomes.
Oof. So what are you trying to be like the Morris twins? 2 Embiid, 3-0, 3-0. Well, they lost that next one. Tom. Let's see. And then the question, I'm gonna come to you, Tom. Will Mahomes have to play a road playoff game for the first time in his career that's not a Super Bowl? Pretty much meaning, are the Chiefs going to get the 1 seed?
No.
They're not. Who gets the 1 seed?
Whoever wins Monday night.
You literally said that. You just literally just said the Bengals are going to go into Kansas City and beat Patrick Mahomes.
Eric, can you emphasize to that dude what your question was? If the Chiefs get the number 1 seed.
So my thing is,
Derek, get off the Chiefs nut. Get off the Bengals nutsack.
Tom, all right, I got a question for you.
He's red. He's red.
He is. All right, but I have a question
for one person on it, baby.
So, Tom, do the Chiefs beat the Broncos?
Easily, yes.
Do they beat the Raiders?
With yes, not with
their
car, your car, my car. It don't
so,
matter.
All right, so do you want to see the Bengals with the 1 seed?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you want to see, because if the Bengals beat the Bills and the Chiefs win their next 2 games, the Chiefs get the 1 seed, Tom.
You sure?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Hypothetically. Listen, Tom, hypothetically.
How does that work?
What do you mean?
Why would the Chiefs get the number 1 seed?
Because the Chiefs are 12-3, the Bengals are 11-4. If the Bengals win out, they finish with 13 wins, and if the Chiefs win out, they finish with 14. And 14 is 1 more than 13. That's how.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, I was making sure that you had your math correct. So, is there anything you would like to change before we move on, Thomas?
I guess the Chiefs
The
are getting
Bengals
the
are
number
going to
one.
go into Kansas City and win.
Yes, the Bengals are going to KC.
I was setting you up for it, Tom.
They're
All right,
going to KC.
who wins? Chiefs Broncos. I think we all are going to be on the same side. Tom,
Right on,
KC?
Chiefs.
All right, everybody KC.
I hope the Broncos win.
Oh, Micah Parsons is injured.
Will you back them, Tom? Will you back them? Come on. Back the Broncos.
You've been backing them all year.
Back the Broncos, Tom. It's going to fucking drain you from the inside out.
Fuck no. After watching what Baker baked them last week, that defense has lost all my faith after seeing what Baker did.
Me too. But I guarantee you one thing: Mahomes ain't gonna put up 51. It just don't work like that ever.
Never.
They ain't gonna get cooked like that.
Mahomes, the Chiefs will win by a field goal somehow.
Facts. That's what I was getting at. All right, Bears Lions. The Lions need a win to stay alive. They need a loss and they need a win to stay alive, and they need a loss by Washington to stay. Hold on,
So
no.
the
The
Lions
scenario
have a chance.
they do. Hold up. Here's the scenario. I was fucking up. They got to win out, and they need Washington to lose one of their last two games, and they need Seattle to lose one of their last two games.
Who's
Again,
Washington
with-
play next week?
Giant? No.
Nope. I got you. I just had it up. The Commanders are playing the Cowboys next week.
Welcome to the playoffs, Detroit Lions, baby.
Oh, Dallas. If Philly wins, Dallas is locked into the 5 seed. They could be benching people.
Welcome
could
to the
be.
playoffs.
All right. So my question to the both of you, and actually I'm going to go to Tom because he's been hanging on a little more than Derek has, and by it I mean my nuts. Did I hype Detroit up all season for nothing?
No.
Okay, so you're with me. Our Lions are they're going to the playoffs, Tom.
I do think they are. I hope
Derek,
they do.
did I hype them up for nothing?
I don't think you hyped them up for nothing. I think they had it, but I don't think they're going to the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't know why the Bears right now are favored by 6 points against the Lions. I was trying to look and see if like Goff was injured or, somebody was injured, because there's no way that should be the line. Unless there's a typo, but the Bears are currently favored going into Detroit by 6 points.
Wait, going into Detroit?
Yes. The last time I checked, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, Detroit's favorite, dude.
Oh, all right. That makes sense.
Detroit's a 6-point favorite. You fucking Mama Luke.
Mama.
I'm a Luke.
Mama.
All right, they must. I said it probably was a typo. It was Chicago earlier. It was literally Chicago early.
A typo in your brain.
Listen,
all right, so
all I know is you're getting your one. Listen, the Browns can beat.
So let me rephrase it. Then the Lions are going to the playoffs.
Let's go.
So you didn't hype them up for nothing.
I'm taking Detroit. D, who you taking?
Detroit.
Tom?
Detroit.
Okay, we are all on the same.
So let's just say Detroit wins. Detroit wins Sunday. Browns win. Jets win. Packers win. You're telling me that Detroit Green Bay game week 18 could come down for the last wild card spot?
If Washington loses to both, if Seattle loses both.
Well, they only got to lose one.
They got to lose one for the Lions to get in, but if the Packers are going to leapfrog them, they both need to lose both.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a link on the New York Times where they have the schedules, and you could press a bunch of any scenarios you want, and it gives you the percentages.
That's why all the games next week are TBD, because they're going to start changing times.
So Tom, is that a good storyline? Rodgers making the playoffs?
Fuck Rodgers.
Will the fix be in for that?
I do think the fix is in for. I'm telling you, they're going to do everything they can to get Rodgers Brady in there.
All right, we'll see.
Bro, Rodgers could be heading to Tampa Bay to play.
What? Next year?
No. I'm talking about this year. Like they could, like, depending on who wins, of course. But you got to think whoever makes the 7th seed is going to Minnesota.
Yeah, so that's Rodgers going to Minnesota to
And
take
then
on the
I'm
2
just saying,
seed.
somehow on the line there could be a matchup where Rodgers plays.
Only B will be NFC
Yeah, the
Championship.
Giants would have to beat the 49ers in order for that to happen. So the Packers got to beat the Vikings, the Giants got to beat the 49ers, and the Cowboys got to beat the Bucks. Or the Bucks got to beat the Cowboys.
Which is all literally possible.
No, I will not. The 3 of them are not happening. But I mean, it is possible, I guess. So is fucking you growing a full head of hair, but we're not
That's
banking on
impossible.
that.
That's literally impossible. It's like you trying to grow a full beard.
A full beard. Yeah, I know. I was actually going there next to myself, Tom. I like to grow myself a little bit. All right. So in order for the Lions to win, they do need some help by the Cleveland Browns. So let's jump into the Browns and the Commanders. Washington can clinch a playoff berth this week with a win, a Seattle loss, a Detroit loss, and a Green Bay loss or tie. A Washington loss will keep the 7 seed open for business for the rest of the NFC. My question is going to come to Tom first. Can and will Carson Wentz lead the Commanders one step closer to a playoff berth?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Tell me why.
I think Carson Wentz got. I mean, we heard stories about the locker room. Carson Wentz has lost the locker room, stuff like that. I think them going to Carson Wentz is a big thing. I mean, they're benching Tyler Heineke. So I think they're going with the veteran guy. I think they're going with the guy that has somewhat been in a situation like this before, has played in big games before, somewhat. Everything somewhat. He was the best quarterback in football until he tore his ACL. I mean, that's a fact. So I think you're going to watch out for like Jahan Dotson, a guy like that. Carson Wentz loves him. He gets open for him. He runs his routes. I mean, I don't think the Browns are anything special. Chase Young being back's a big thing. I think you bottle up. I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones and Amari Cooper. I mean, they're nothing special anymore. And you somehow bottle up Nick Chubb. I think Washington could win the game.
D, same question. Can and will Carson lead them one step closer to a playoff berth?
No, I don't think so. I think that the Browns are going to go into Washington and win. The Browns are kind of getting it going, and I just think Washington is spent. They're doing a quarterback carousel this deep in the season, which means they're not sure who they think is their quarterback of the future. Which I thought they were rolling with Tyler Heineke, but I guess they felt differently about it. And again, I just think the Browns are playing better football right now, and they are going to win in terms knocking the Washington Commanders out of the race.
Okay, so now I want to play a hypothetical with the both of you.
Okay, hypothetical. I'm paying attention, buddy.
Tom, hypothetical. Tell them if the Commanders do get in, can they beat the Vikings? And if so, the scenario is if they beat the Vikings, their next matchup would be in Philly against the Eagles. So if the Commanders get in, are they a team that could beat the Vikings in the playoffs?
I mean, I think there's any team could beat the Vikings. I mean, I don't know. You got to know what Kirk Cousins is going to show up, and I mean, look. The Vikings look like absolute dog shit against a team like the Colts, and I know the Colts lost that game, but a team like Washington won't let that happen. And then last week they didn't look that great, so I mean, yeah, I think the Vikings will win, but I think yes, Washington can win that game.
Any chance that the Commanders can upset the Vikings, D?
I'm with Tom. I think that anything is possible when it comes to the Vikings because you're not sure what team is going to show up. And by what team, I mean their defense, because their defense can one week look like the greatest defenses in the league, and then there's times where they literally just look like dog shit. So is it possible? Yes, it is very possible.
Do you guys see my camera right now?
Yes, I can't take it serious. Looks like you're trying to do it. It looks like you're trying to do extra. Yeah, it is.
Right, I didn't know if you could see it or not. I was trying to hold my laugh in.
I was look at this shit, and then look, I press stop cam, and a thumb comes up.
Oh my god!
So here's what I'm gonna do real quick before we jump into Because again, these are all fixable. We're gonna jump into Jags Texans next. I'm just gonna leave the studio real quick, refresh my camera, and come back so I don't look like a boomerang of me saying some dumb shit.
I got you.
It's weird. Look, here I am. Ready?
Yeah, I seen your face already.
I'll be right back.
Talk about on. It looks like he's literally on somebody's nuts.
Why am I the only one here right now? What's going on? Hey, my people.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Very weird. I guess he has, control of all of that stuff. Now watch with his luck, he won't be able to enter the chat again, the studio.
Oh boy, yeah. Who wins? We're gonna talk about it later, so I'm not gonna ask you now.
All right, do you have your lock of the week?
I have my lock of the week.
All right,
I have it locked up.
let's go, boy.
Lock of the week hit last week. Lock of the week's gonna hit this week.
You got to finish the season with a bang, man.
GoPro's down. Oh well. All right. So I'm back without looking like an idiot. All right, let's jump into. I gotta get my spot again. All right, let's jump into the Jaguars and the Texans. Again, this is another game that doesn't really have any implications. The Texans are eliminated, and the Jags are looking forward to that Week 18 showdown with the Titans, which again makes this game meaningless. But just real quick, who wins the game? Jags, Texans.
This is an easy call for me, and just because I've been riding with them for the past 6 weeks, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Tom, any disagreements?
Nope.
All right, me neither. And since we've already talked about both of those teams, just a first look. We're going to do a breakdown next week, but first look, who wins that Week 18 matchup? I think we already asked this, but just want to get it again.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars are winning the division.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to double down and make sure everybody was still on the same page as they were about.
Oh no, wait, and Tom, Mike Vrabel, right? Good coach. His record is 48-32.
Yeah, he's got a winning record. Good for him.
He did win Coach of the Year though, 2021 last year. That's crazy.
Lost an AFC Championship game too before, I believe.
Stinks. Anyway, let's jump on to the San Francisco 49ers and the Vegas Raiders. The 49ers are already clinched, but they could get the 1 seed. They're still in play for the 1 seed. They would have to win out. They would need both Philadelphia and Minnesota to lose out. Now, the interesting thing is Dallas fans are also asking for Philadelphia and Minnesota to lose out so that they can get the 1 seed. But it won't matter because if San Fran wins out and Dallas wins out and then Philly and Minnesota lose out, Dallas doesn't get the 1 seed. San Fran gets the 1 seed. But they're also still in play for the 2 seed. So my question to Tom, will Brock Purdy win a playoff matchup? Right now, he's looking at a matchup with the New York Giants. Is that a game that he wins?
Nope.
Oh, you got the – hold up. If they get in and they play the Giants, are you going to be backing the Giants?
I'm backing every team against Brock Purdy in the playoffs.
Ooh, interesting. D, what do you think on that?
And all it has to do
Listen,
is
defense wins championships, and the Giants stink. So I'm going 49ers all day, even on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Monday or a Thursday. I don't care.
What if they play on Tuesday?
Tuesday, it's different because something happens on Tuesdays.
Something weird. All right. So my question now to Derek is because you've been following this team all year, you might have a little better thumb on the pulse of the team. Where does Derek Carr go next?
Hey, listen, Indianapolis is looking like a great destination right now for Derek Carr because I think his day as a Raider is starting to crumble. I think it's starting to crumble.
It's absolutely done. The reason that he's inactive is because if they cut ties with him in the offseason, they're off the hook for millions and millions and millions, to where if he plays or practices in these final 2 weeks and he gets hurt, they're still on the hook for all that money. So they're done. They're shutting him down for the year. And I think if that's what they're worried about, not having to pay, not getting him hurt, so they don't have to pay him, I think it's done. I don't think you got to worry about him being back there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying because it was just weird, like how he was stepping away from the team. They said for family
Yep.
reasons. So yeah, I think they're kind of in rebuild mode unless they can kind of maybe land like a Lamar Jackson or something like that. But other than that, I think they're kind of just in rebuild mode at this point.
Okay. Anybody taking the Raiders, or are we all on San Fran?
The Raiders, they will never get picked by me again. Not this season.
Tom,
Where's the
Tom, you
game?
take where?
In Las Vegas.
Doesn't matter.
I
Are
mean,
you taking?
I'm taking the Raiders.
Let's go. Let's go, Tom. About time you show some nuts.
who's their
Dumb.
backup? Jace Stidham? Is that their backup?
Stidham. I think so. Tom,
Listen, dude, Brock
Jared
Purdy's
Stidham?
gonna lose a fucking game eventually.
You think it's
Bro,
going to be
he
against?
doesn't have to with a defense.
Yeah, Jared
No,
Stidham is getting the start.
I don't know. I just think some weird shit's gonna happen and fucking Vegas is somehow gonna win another storyline. Bench Carr, you beat one of the best teams. There you go, storyline.
Oh my God! What a dot by Dobbs! Ho.
Damn, how far behind am I in this? I shut the game off to do something, and Dallas still has the ball in my game. So let me get out of here.
What's the score in your game? Is it 7-0 or 10-0?
Oh, well, thanks for telling me the fucking score, Tom. You fucking bitch.
Yeah, he just threw a dime.
Yeah, I just saw the dot he threw. Okay. All right. Joshua Dobbs. Tom was on to something here.
Tom loved Dobbs at Tennessee.
Tom loved Dobbs and Madden. He seen Sperry used to cook with Dobbs, and he thought he could do the same. Or maybe I'm tripping. Maybe that wasn't Tom. All right, so me and Derek are both going San Fran. Tom, with the shocker of the week, is going with the Raiders. I did not see that coming. I'm going San Fran too. I hyped you up just because I get a free game on you pretty much. But
yeah, I can't wait to come back on this show and just shit on you all when fucking the Raiders win by a fucking last second field goal.
That'd be great.
Won't happen, Tom. Let's jump over to the Jets and the Seahawks. Both teams are facing a must-win situation for their respective playoff lives. They would need additional help plus a win next week to make it. But the winner stays alive and the loser buys themselves a meaningless Week 18 game. My question, Derek, Geno Smith or Mike White?
Geno was having one of those great seasons, and I was kind of, I was rooting for him because Geno's, it's been like an up and down NFL career for him. Starting as a starter at the Jets, getting punched at practice. Just he's had a crazy experience in NFL.
I forgot about that.
I mean, jaw broken, all that.
Who punched Geno Smith?
It was a defensive lineman, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was a defensive lineman.
All right, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're all good.
It was Eek and Nemkapali. I don't even know the hell the dude's name, but go ahead.
All right, so I mean, again, it would be nice to see him beat his New York Jets, but that defense is too nasty, and I think Mike White gets it done.
Okay, Tom, Geno Smith or Mike White, and then I'm coming back to you for the second part of this question.
Mike White, and I'm going with the team that has the best defense in football, I think. And no Tyler Lockett, so all eyes on DK Metcalf, and the Jets can easily shut down DK Metcalf, and they can give Geno a hell of a fucking game, get him flustered. So I'm taking the Jets.
Get rid of the ball, dude.
I'm gonna go. I think that DK is gonna get his against most corners, and I just think that Seattle has a little bit more of a realistic shot at playoffs. I'm going Seattle. Now, Tom, because you called for his exit weeks ago, and you said there was no way that they would pick this guy over the coach. My question to you is, where is Zach Wilson going?
If I'm going to say anywhere, stamp it, he goes to the Colts.
The Colts. So every quarterback that I've asked today, where are they going? Every answer has been Indianapolis. Between Baker, between Derek Carr and now Zach Wilson. Are they going to take all three of them like the Panthers did?
Possibly.
Possibly. All right,
But I think Zach Wilson goes to the Atlanta Falcons
over Ritter. You don't think they're going to rock with Ritter?
Nah, I don't think Ritter's the guy.
Whoa, how's he not the guy? He's only played in 2 games this year, Derek? How's he not the guy?
He didn't say that.
When was he picked, Tom? When was he picked?
It doesn't matter. How is he not the guy? How can you judge a guy off of 2 games, Derek?
You said he would never be a starting quarterback in the NFL ever again. He just said,
Derek, how can you say the guy does not have it after 2 starts?
He didn't say that.
He did not have it.
I
said he's not their guy. I said he's not their guy. Maybe another team.
Why? So after 2, what makes you think that he's not their guy after 2 starts?
Because I didn't think he was their guy in the beginning. That's why.
Hell, if you've never seen him play an NFL game.
I've seen him play in college a lot, and
I've seen Malik Willis play in college a lot.
You watch Liberty games?
No, but
where's he from? Liberty University? Well, you watched a bunch of Liberty games. You're telling me.
No, he didn't.
Absolutely no shot. I watched Liberty games.
All right, then, you idiot.
I mean, you watch highlights.
The only Liberty, yeah, I know you're a highlight watcher. The only Liberty Tom knows about is Liberty Mutual, where you can get great homeowners insurance. Tom.
You're an idiot.
Tom was not watching Liberty college games, cuz.
Fuck
no fucking shot. Oh,
they don't
God.
televise Liberty College.
Yes, they do. I think they actually do. It's
Not
probably on
like
ESPNU or ESPN3.
Derek used to be an avid Liberty backer when he was back in his gambling days. Actually, I don't even know that. That's
Derek
just something.
Probably never bet a Liberty game in his life.
Basketball, I did.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into Vikings Packers. The Vikings need a win to stay ahead of San Fran for the 2 seed, and the Packers need a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. But here it is, Tom. Green Bay they need to win out, and they need they need to win out against Minnesota and Detroit, both in Lambeau. They need 1 loss by Washington by either Cleveland or Dallas. Then they need Seattle. Oh, no, they only need Washington to lose 1 game, and they need Seattle to lose 1 game as well. So what I said earlier was pretty much yes. If Seattle and Washington lose, that Week 18 game between the Lions and the Packers could very well be for that 7 seed. So, Tom, I'm going to come right to you. Will the Packers make the playoffs?
No.
I
thought they liked storylines, Tom.
How can the Packers make the playoffs if I already said Detroit Lions are going to make the playoffs?
I'm just
because you're a guy that likes to cover your ass. You like to cover all angles. That's why.
Yeah, because the Lions and the Packers and every team's making the playoffs.
Yeah, you literally just said every team's going to the Colts. Every quarterback's going to the Colts.
I said 2 quarterbacks, you jitbag.
But that's to cover your ass. So you can come on here and say, I told you, dude. You see, Baker Mayfield, he went to the Colts. Or I told you, dude. Zach Wilson.
I said Baker's staying in LA, you fucker.
All right, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson or Jimmy G's going to the Colts.
I said Jimmy G's going to stay in San Fran.
All right, go.
You're trying too hard, Derek.
Oh man, just going with your life, Tom.
Derek.
You're a guy. You're I told you so guy. Just admit it.
I've literally never came on here and said I told you so. This episode.
What?
This episode.
Look, he's covering his ass again. He's doing it. I never said that today.
Never said it today, brother.
He wanted that initial reaction before he could gently shut us down.
No, the Packers are not making the playoffs, Derek.
Derek?
Packers are not making the playoffs. No.
All right, so the Vikings are 11-0 this season in 1-score games. Derek, is that a positive for the team that they could win close games, or is that a sign for trouble ahead in the playoffs where games tend to be a little tighter?
So you said they're 11-0 with closer games with 7.
They're 11-0 in 1-score games this season.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it benefits them, but not in the fourth quarter.
See, because I look at it as I like that they have shown that they can win these close games, but a lot of those close games were against teams that I feel like they should have beat up on. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like, okay, if they get to that close game, sure, they got the pedigree, but who thinks that they're going to get to that close of a game with Philly or Dallas or San Fran? Like, in order to win those games, you got to be there. And I just think that they rely too heavy on those 1 point, those 1 point wins those one possession wins. I think it's a sign of trouble for Minnesota because
Yeah, how did
I don't see it.
Micah Parsons literally just recovered a fumble with a mallet on his hand.
What did he do? Did he break his hand?
I don't know. It's been on his hand, but it's just weird to see that.
All right, let's jump. Let's get this game. Vikings Packers. Who wins?
Vikings.
Vikings.
No. I'm going Packers.
Vikings.
All right, so Tom is Minnesota. Derek is Green Bay. I'm gonna go. Ooh. Is it? Oh, I'm going Green Bay. They're in Lambeau. I'm going Green Bay. Yep. All right, let's jump over to the Battle of LA. We got Rams and Chargers. The Chargers have already clinched a playoff berth. And my question, I'm not even going to talk about the Rams. We've talked about them too much already this episode. But my question, Tom, I'm going to ask you because this is your former team. Should we take this Chargers team seriously in the playoffs?
Offensively, yes.
Answer the question, Tom.
Yes.
Okay.
Derek, should we take this Chargers team seriously?
No.
Okay. And Q scene, you two, go. Why?
The reason why I say no is because Tom says offensively. So let me say how bad they are defensively. This team fucking stinks, Tom.
They're getting Joey Bosa back.
Oh,
Joey Bosa just got brought off IR. He finally returned to practice today. And if you could sit there with a straight face and tell me that's not a huge person to get back going into the playoffs defensively, then just smack yourself because I'm going to drive up to fucking Croydon and smack you myself.
Okay, and when you come here, expect a smack back because when I was saying about Von Miller just a couple, an hour ago, you said it wasn't a big idea. It wasn't a big deal.
Answer it, Tom.
I'm gonna clip back and I'm gonna make sure I know for a fact I didn't say specifically Von Miller.
You downplayed Von Miller. You did downplay Von Miller.
You did. You literally did on this podcast, on this episode.
No, I downplayed. I downplayed Jordan Poyer.
Titans touchdown.
No way.
Titans touchdown, baby. Dak gets the ball.
No,
it was a Titans touchdown, a defensive touchdown. Oh, no. They didn't score. I'm sorry. They got the ball. I looked over, and they ran into the end zone.
What can go wrong with Dak will go wrong.
Listen, at this point, I just need Dak to go for 234 passing yards, and I'm Gucci.
Why would he have a prop bet?
I took a same game parlay. I took Tennessee under 13.5 total points, under 41. Zeke anytime touchdown score, and Dak over 234 passing yards.
Are you allowed to gamble?
Yeah, as long as I'm responsible and I call 1-800-GAMBLER when I get unresponsible.
All right. Anybody taking the Rams in this game?
No.
Well, the Chargers clinched a playoff berth. How much longer are they going to play their starters?
They need continuity. They need some oomph in that team. I don't see them. I don't know. Rams could win that game, honestly.
And Baker's playing for that a job in the NFL at least.
He is. I'm taking the Chargers as well. All right, let's jump into the.
You know what? Give me the Rams. I'm going Rams.
Let me get my trusty little notepad back. Derek wants to switch it up. All right, so Tom and Ryan are on LA, and Derek is on LA.
Put me down for LA.
Yeah, I'm choosing LA to win this game. All right, let's jump into the last game on the slate. Steelers-Ravens. The Steelers need a win to stay alive. It's weird. It's crazy to think that the Steelers are still alive in a playoff race, but the Steelers need a win to stay alive. They need the Dolphins to lose versus New England. and the Jets. They need the Patriots to beat the Dolphins, but then go lose to Buffalo, and they need the Jets to lose to Seattle and then beat Miami. So there's a lot of things for the Steelers. The Ravens are already in. My question is, the Steelers are sitting at 7-8, and for 15 straight seasons to start his NFL career, coaching career, Mike Tomlin has had a winning record. In order for them to pull that off, they got to win their last 2 games. Will Mike Tomlin finish his 16th straight season with a winning record? Tom, they play the Ravens, then the Browns. So are the Steelers winning out?
I mean, that's 2 division games that they could easily win. I think they win this week. I don't know. I'll get back. Fully healthy Steelers team against the Browns. Yes, they're going to win out.
Okay. D. So I'm marking you down as Pittsburgh for this game.
Yes.
Okay, D. Do the Steelers win out?
For once in my life, I have to agree with Thomas. I
Smart
believe they
man.
win out.
Okay, I agree. I think they beat the Ravens if Lamar doesn't play, and it doesn't look like I haven't seen anything that makes me think he's going to play.
Practice, so he's definitely not playing.
And then they're already clinched. I don't see why he would play. I think that they win this week, and I think they beat the Browns next week. And there's another storyline. He keeps his after the terrible start that they had. He keeps his streak alive. All right, that wraps up our NFL Week 17 preview. I have a couple of general questions though. I'm gonna come to Tom first. Tom, who's the most? And when I ask this, actually no, let me just give it straight. Tom, who's the most dangerous team in the NFC?
In the NFC?
Yes.
I mean, it's Philadelphia or San Fran.
I need the answer.
The Eagles.
Okay. I think that's a good answer. Derek, who's the most dangerous team in the AFC?
Most dangerous team in the AFC. It's probably the Bengals.
The Bengals. Ooh, look at Derek giving some respect. RESPECT. I know Tom is foaming at the hips right now. All right.
And the only reason why is because they got it done last year. They made it to the big dance last year. So I mean, if they get into the playoffs, anything could happen. I mean, when in the playoffs when they're.
All right, well, let's see if Tom has the same type of mutual respect for teams you love. I'm going to ask you, but I want you to take out the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Bengals. Don't give me either of these teams. Who's the one team in the AFC that's not a top squad, more of a sleeper type? Who's the one team in the AFC that nobody wants to see? So in the hunt, we still have the Ravens, the Chargers, the Jags, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Titans, Steelers, and technically the Raiders.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm like torn between. Probably. Torn between 2 teams right now.
It's the Chargers and the Jaguars.
The Chargers and Jags. But
I need
I'd
an answer.
probably give the slight edge to Doug P.
Hey.
Ooh, okay. What is this kumbaya going on between the two of you? I don't fuck with it. I don't like it. Derek, same stipulations. Who's the one team in the NFC nobody wants to see?
The one team in the NFC that nobody wants to see. I mean, I don't honestly think there's like a sleeper team that I mean, I would have probably said Detroit if they won last week. I'll still say Detroit because they don't have an easy path to making the playoffs. Because I mean, they'll have to play the Packers next week. So if they win that, I would definitely say Detroit.
Okay. All right. Not bad. All right. So we did do this last week. and it looked a little bit more like a normal top 10. But again, we're going to jump into our combined top 10, but we're going to switch it up a little bit this week. We're going to go from 1 to 10. And because I love drama, I'm going to start off at number 1. I was going to give it to Derek, but I want to see the drama between Derek and Tom. So at number 1, I'm going Philadelphia Eagles. And Derek, I'm coming to you for number 2.
Number 2, I have to go with the Buffalo Bills.
That's fine.
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals at 3.
Buffalo Bills. Tom's got the Cincinnati Bengals at 3. All right. I'm gonna go Chiefs at 4.
So, Rye, real quick, I got the Chiefs at 4. What team did you have at 2 last week?
Bengals or Cowboys?
And what did you have at 3?
Oh, Bengals. I have Buffalo.
Not our power rankings. Your own power rankings.
Listen, I keep all my shit.
I know because I want to see something real quick.
Hold up, I got you. Just give me 1 second. I got you right here. I just got to open this tab up. I had doom. Here
This
we go.
Titans team is so bad.
Dude, how did they not score? The last time I looked up, they were in fucking scoring position.
He got sacked. Sack, strip, fumble.
I didn't even see that. 2 words.
Malik Willis. They're getting 17 seconds to throw the ball. Tom, that under is going to get smoked.
Let me see. All right. Tom, I'm sorry.
How are you going to put the Chiefs over the Niners?
Yeah, I fucked up. No, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna put the 49ers there. I forgot about San Fran for a second.
I just want to know. I was going to ask you, what did
no.
the Chiefs prove against fucking Houston last week?
No, you're right. Oh, pick!
Interception.
Pick! Let's go!
I'm fine with that. They're going to kill off the clock and not score.
All right, I'm gonna call an audible. I'm gonna go ahead and put the 49ers in front of the Chiefs.
So what do I have? 5?
You have 5.
So I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs then.
Okay. Tom, who do you got at 6?
I put the Dallas Cowboys.
You bum. How are you gonna root for that team?
A non-biased show, ain't it, Rye?
Touche. All right. I'm going to go Minnesota Vikings just because there's no other good options there.
What was that at 7?
At 7. You got number 8, Derek.
Number 8, I got to put my team there because I don't think they're going to make it if I don't. So I'm going Jacksonville.
Ooh, I'm okay with that because I don't think I'm going to do the same with the Lions because I don't think that they deserve it at this point, and this is a very unbiased show. But
I mean, because I have the Chargers, Baltimore, Jacksonville at 10.
I'm going Chargers at 9.
Ooh, it leaves me with the final pick. It's the final countdown. All right, let me see. Actually, got it. All right, so the remaining teams I could choose from. I'm not putting the Ravens there. I don't believe in them. I will not. I don't think I could put
Jets,
the Dolphins there.
Detroit.
Fuck it. I will not. I showed this team disrespect, and they came back and they did what they did. NFC East, stand up. I'm going the New York Giants, baby. I'm going to Giants at 10. Anybody disagree with the Giants at 10? Or who do you got at 10 if it's not the Giants?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
You got the Dolphins at 10? Even with Tua's uncertainty?
Yeah, I think they're better than the Giants, I think.
I'm fine with the Giants.
I mean, I'm not mad about the Giants. I'm just surprised you didn't put Detroit there. I think Detroit's better than the Giants.
I was going to, but Detroit has got to. With
They
me in
lost one
Detroit,
game in how many weeks? I mean, they beat the Giants too. So by your logic, early in the year, you would put that team over the team.
are you going to talk to me about my own logic, Tom?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but I think the Giants have a better record though. So I
yeah, but
would.
he's
Yeah.
not going by record.
I'm not. I'm going by now. I have to also, you have to take into account that it's week 17
Right.
and the Giants
He's taking into
control.
account playoffs.
Yeah,
They
the
control their
Giants
destiny more than
control
a.
their destiny. The Lions need help.
Oh, let's go. Keep going. Don't fumble. Don't fumble.
Fucking
Hold on.
tackle him.
And Tom, whose side are you on?
Well, no, he
I need
wants
the under
Dak
to
to
hit,
be
brother.
under 234.
No, I want Dak to be
Dude,
over 234.
Oh, that's fine then, Tom.
I need the Titans to go under 13 and a half total points for the game.
Oh, you're fine with that. You'll be all right.
All right. Well, there's our combined top 10. We got the Eagles at 1, the Bills at 2, the Bengals at 3, San Fran at 4, Chiefs at 5, Cowboys at 6, Vikings at 7, Jags at 8, Chargers at 9, and the Giants at 10. That is probably the best one we've put out
Yeah.
to date. I think
That's
think
like a
that
legit
is,
one.
it is. It's not one that has the Chargers at number 2 because Tom refused to put the Cowboys there.
And now you put the
All right.
Cowboys at 6.
Tom, it's that time, my guy. It is that time where we will give you little smacks on the titties to make a fucking drum roll. Let's give us the Tom Flynn lock of the week. Oh,
Once again, Derek's going to love it. I'm rocking with the hot hand. I'm rocking with a team that has yet to let me down. I'm rocking with a team that's 5-1 at home in the jungle.
Oh, God.
Back-to-back weeks, the Cincinnati Bengals are a lock. Back-to-back weeks. You could take the Bengals money line or you could take the Bengals +1. It doesn't matter. The Bengals are winning the game against the Buffalo Bills in the jungle.
Okay, the Tom Flynn lock of the week is the Cincinnati Bengals in the jungle over the Buffalo Bills. I like it. You have anything? You have any issues with that, D?
No. I mean, he's been rocking with his team. They're not a terrible team. They're a good team. So can they get it done? Yes. Will they get it done? No. Simple as that.
I remember.
They're playing a number 2 team in the league right now.
I remember Ryan texting me last week saying like they just fucked up your entire lock of the week to find out that he's like, oh, they missed the extra point.
Yeah,
Literally missing the extra point saved my lock of the week. Dude, also, Sean Timlin's lock hit too on that three leg same game parlay with Josh Allen, the over in the game. That all hit too.
And Sean Ryan's hit.
Yeah, with
Sean put his lock of the week was the Chargers over the Chargers -4 over the Colts, and they smashed that. Okay, so we got the Bengals again. Tom is just riding with the Bengals. I like it. He's at least he's consistent. All right, let's jump over into something that I know Tom is hyped for because this is more his speed than mine. Maybe his speed a little bit more than Derek's too. It's the Fiesta Bowl. We got number 2 Michigan versus number 3 TCU. Tom, who wins these games?
Michigan -7.5 is also a lock.
Ooh.
TCU is coming in. They're not going to be able to do what they did in the season against a Michigan defense. Michigan's been there. I have no faith in Max Duggan. J.J. McCarthy is going to light it up. Michigan is going to absolutely maul TCU.
What about you, D?
Going to make LaDainian Tomlinson cry.
And when LT cries, Tom cries. Who wins the game?
I'm literally just going Michigan because they're a team that's supposed to be there, or they're just one of the powerhouses that is usually there per se. I feel like they have the better coach in Harbaugh, so I'll ride with the Michigan Wolverines on this one.
All right, me too. All right, D, Peach Bowl. Number 1 Georgia versus number 4 Ohio State. Who gets out with the dub?
I mean, You might as well call them the NFL Georgia Bulldogs because that's all they have on their team is NFL players. Ohio State, I don't think they have a chance against Georgia. I think Georgia takes it all. I think they're just an all around great football team.
Okay, Tom. Same question to you.
I think that game's gonna be a lot closer than the Michigan game, and that's only because of C.J. Stroud. But yeah, I mean, if anybody you can't bet against Georgia. I mean, they're probably going to win a national championship again. The only team that would remotely have a chance against Georgia would be Alabama.
Now
And they're
Alabama
not
stinks.
and they're not in it.
They
So
probably wouldn't even be able to beat Georgia right now.
No.
all right, so all three of us on Georgia. Tom, speaking of Alabama, in the Sugar Bowl, they're taking on number 9 Kansas State. Are they on upset alert?
I don't know. I haven't looked too much into the Sugar Bowl. I don't know if Bryce Young's playing. Kansas State's got a good defense, and they beat TCU twice. But with Bryce Young, Alabama wins that game. I mean, you're taking Nick Saban over anybody, not named Kirby Smart.
D. Alabama or Kansas State?
I'm gonna roll with the dogs in an upset alert. K State. I'm gonna rock with them just because I could see Alabama, a lot of players sitting due to the draft. So I'm gonna ride out with K State.
Yeah, that they would. If I'm 100% with Derek.
But you took Bama.
I
Oh, you mean
yeah.
as far
If
as okay.
if Bryce Young plays, majority of their starters are going to play. They're not going to put Bryce Young out there with freshman wide receivers. But if Bryce Young doesn't play, then I'm taking K State.
All right, well let's go right into the Orange Bowl then. Number 6 Tennessee versus number 7 Clemson. I'm going Clemson in this one. Tom, who do you got? Oh, I'm going Bama in the last game too. This game I'm going Clemson.
I mean, I'm not a big fan. I'm going Tennessee, and that's solely because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't DJ Ugugugu, whatever his last name is, enter the transfer portal?
Their quarterback?
Yeah, I believe he just entered the transfer portal.
Not
so
sure.
he won't be playing.
Not sure.
Hold on, let me look that up real quick. I'm pretty
Was he
sure.
going to Colorado?
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I seen a thing where they had Dabo Sweeney flying over Clemson University, and they said that like this is where you're going to be playing football for the next 4 years, and then that's when they said that he was supposed to be like the number 1 quarterback, and he just fucking can't throw for 3,000 yards in college football.
So you don't think Cade Klubnik is coming in and winning the Orange Bowl, Tom?
Now, I mean, I know Malik Hooker's out too, so I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I don't know. Dabo is probably the. I'm gonna go to Vols.
D, who you going?
And he went to Oregon State.
I'm gonna go Vols too.
He transferred to Oregon State, Derek.
Wait, that was Tennessee's quarterback?
No. Clemson's quarterback transferred to Oregon State.
Oh, okay. That's weird. Yeah, give me Tennessee. I'll rock out with the Vols.
All right, and the last game we want to jump into for the bowl season is the Rose Bowl. Number 8 Utah versus number 11 Penn State. I'm going Penn State. They're getting out with a dub, end the season on a high note. D, who you going?
I'm going Utah. It's time for Franklin to get the hell out of Penn State.
Okay, Tom.
Sean Clifford's not good at all.
No Penn State love here?
Fuck no.
Oh Lord. And it was an aggressive no. Not just a regular no. It was a fuck no. Next, we're going to jump into the NBA. Derek hit us up the other night and was like, yo, did you guys see the night that Luka had? And the night that Luka had was ridiculous. And the night we're talking about was when he dropped 60 points, 21 rebounds, 10 assists. And he had that game. He had that shot to put them into overtime against the Knicks, and they wound up winning that game. And he's looking. I mean, he's hot. Just look at his last 4 games: 25, 50, 32, and 60. Dude, what do you got on Luka?
Well, at first I want to take back on that clutch. Remember we were talking about the clutch thing. Whoever we wanted to take a last shot, I
Yeah.
think Tom, you were the only one that went with Luka. I think Ryan went with Dame. I forgot who I went with, maybe with Steph. But I'm definitely taking it back, and I'm going Luka. For them to like just, and it's crazy because how they say is, and like the NBA, their slogan, "Where amazing happens." That was the longest 33 seconds ever. That 33 seconds was like a 2 minute warning when a team has three timeouts. It felt like a lifetime. It was insane. And it, like I was telling you guys, it was just funny seeing all those fans leaving the stands. Like it was literally almost empty. And then once
Mhm.
overtime started, everybody was back in their seats. Like I'm thinking,
Yeah.
like when they left the arena, did security let them back in to witness history? Like, because that was history.
Do you remember when the Heat that I think it was the Ray Allen shot? The Heat fans started leaving,
Yeah.
and then they tried getting back in, and security wouldn't let them back in.
That's crazy. Can you
uh,
imagine you're leaving your seat and then that happens and you weren't there to witness that?
Vicious.
That's why whenever I go to sports events, unless it's like a blowout and a game is closed, I usually just stick around. One, to see if anything amazing happens, and number two, to let traffic kind of die down when you're leaving
Yep.
out. But I mean, come on, that was spectacular.
It was. It was. It was wild. Tom, did you catch that?
Yeah, well, I was 100% sleeping.
No, you caught the highlight. I mean, I caught the highlight too. I didn't
Yeah.
watch it in real life, real time.
But seeing Luka miss the free throw on purpose and then didn't even how do you he wasn't the one that was thought that he was going to get his own rebound. Like he fell back just waiting for one of his players to jump up and the ball just went right to him and all he did was just throw it up. And
Yeah.
it was nothing but net. And I thought he won the game on that.
And you know what really surprised me, like that really got me like, wow. Oh, Dak is injured. Dak's hurt.
No
Dak's
way.
down, grabbing his knee. Up.
Oh, that sucks.
Uh-oh.
As much as I hate the Cowboys, I don't
Nah,
want no
he's up and
injuries.
No.
walking. He's good. He's up and walking.
All right, good. So
Cool.
just real quick, what I really loved about the whole like everything playing out was he didn't try to win the game himself. Christian Wood threw up a three. Tim Hardaway Jr. threw up a three. Like he was trusting his guys.
Yep.
So they always talk about like, oh, well, can Luka get it done in the playoffs? Like without basically saying because Jalen Brunson left and everything. I still think that Dallas has, the core and the team to, make a run in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And this right here just shows that they're a team that they're a team. They are a team that's together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but one thing that sticks out is out of 126 points, only 9 of them came from the bench.
Which is huge, but I mean that's where you start making trades and getting
Yeah,
guys on vet minimum
the
contracts and
buyout
things
contracts
like
and stuff like
right.
that. Like that's why I said right towards the All-Star break and after the All-Star break is when teams start getting their buyout contracts and they start meshing, getting the chemistry.
Right. Like I could see like a Miles Turner going there. Who knows? Maybe a Russ. Like I could see guys like that potentially landing in Dallas just to come off the bench and make a contribution to the team.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they'll be interesting to watch. They are going to be interesting to watch. I feel like they this is every year, and I know Luka's just getting better and better, but it's every year. It's like, damn, this dude Luka could lead them, and then it comes down to the playoffs, and it's like Luka is the shit. He's the real deal, but he just don't have enough around him.
Right.
All right, so the NBA scoring title. There's 7 guys at or right at or slightly below or above 30 points. We got Embiid leading the way with 33.7 points per game. Luka is right under him with 33.6. Giannis is third with 31.7. Shea Gildress Alexander fourth with 31.5. Tatum fifth with 31.1. Curry sixth with 30. And Durant is right at 7. He's at 29.9. So my question is, if they all qualify, well, I guess you would have to qualify, meaning they would have to stay healthy, Joel. Who wins the NBA scoring title?
In my opinion, it's I want to say Embiid because I feel like James Harden has kind of finally understood his role and coming here. and taking that back seat. The only problem I have with that is once Maxey gets back, do some of those points go to Maxey? You know, the Embiid's getting such that high load. But even when I watch him on Christmas, like he's just a force, dude. Like he's on a different like for a big man to move like he does and to just have that nice jumper, like he hits it in people's faces. He's toned down on the 3-pointers, you know, taking unnecessary 3-pointers, and he's just been actually playing the way that he's supposed to play and getting points, getting to the line. So I think Embiid still has a shot at it, even with Maxey coming back. I think he still has a solid shot at winning the scoring title.
Tom, who do you got?
I mean, the only thing that I think that stops Embiid is either injury, of course, and how many games does he not play because they're back to back or load management. Because you got a guy like Luka out of 82.
Oh, that's a pick. Oh, it's a
That's
pick
pick
6. Go, go, go.
No.
Good pick.
Out of
Sorry, Tom.
They're going to kick a field goal. I'm cool with that. Out of 82 games, Luka will play 79, 78 games. Yep. Joel had 82 games. What is he going to play? 70?
Well, he's already missed. He's already. I have it right here. He's already 7 games behind Luka.
All right, so then he's gonna. Yeah, you got to think. So out of 82, is he going to play 65 games?
Yeah, but I think all you have to do is play a minimum amount of games.
Like, yeah, it's like it's in the 50s, high 50s, I believe, low 60s. Maybe it's maybe
so
62.
Yeah, I think it's 60, like 61, 62 games you have to play in order.
And it goes by points per game, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So essentially, if he doesn't if he misses a game, doesn't mean he gets 0 points for that game.
Yeah, I mean then I mean
58.
It should be Joel.
Oh, he caught it.
He did.
Oh, he did. Oh, he stayed in. What the fuck?
Why wouldn't he go out of bounds?
Get down.
Beautiful. Clock ran out.
No, you got a timeout.
No. They got the timeout, Tom.
No way.
Yeah, they're gonna kick a field goal.
Bro.
Review that, baby. There's no way he got that timeout.
He got it, you hater. You hater. All right. So,
I'm looking at it backwards. How much time's left on the clock? 3 seconds?
2 seconds.
Motherfucker.
Did he get out of bounds?
Nope.
Yo, how the hell did he
that's
stay
balance,
in bounds, bro? That is vicious.
Oh my God.
Bro. Is that Traylon? That is Traylon. There you go. I'm with it. All right. So LeBron needs 574 points to pass the number 1 for NBA's all-time points record. Tom, how do you feel about your boy? Because you've been on this dude from the beginning. This was your favorite player. How do you feel about your guy getting ready to pass?
Kareem.
Kareem, yep.
The greatest to ever play the game of basketball, brother.
Greatest. I can't wait for football to die down so we can get into some of these conversations.
There's not a single thing on the basketball court that he cannot do.
Even at his age. You got anything on LeBron chasing the NBA's all-time points record, D?
No, I don't, because again, he will go down as one of the GOATs of the game. I'm not gonna declare him as the GOAT of the game, but he will go down as one of the GOATs of the game. And he deserves it. I mean, dude's been in the league since what? He's been 18, 19, whatever. He's been doing it since he came into the league. It didn't take him a couple years to kind of, when he came in, he immediately kind of took over the league. And the way he works, the way, like, on his off seasons, you don't see him at clubs and shit like that. He's working on his body. He's spending a million on his body every year or however much. This guy is dedicated to, he works on his craft. Like, he perfects his craft. So, hey, kudos to him. I hope he goes for, another 1,000 or 2,000, however much he can go for, and his record stays on, it stays fine for years to come until we have another GOAT.
You got to think he'll probably pass that this year.
He's going to.
Yeah, he's gonna pass that this year. But
So
I'm
he's gonna
saying,
play
He's
a few
gonna
more
he's gonna
years.
pass that. He's gonna pass that in
how
like
many more
March.
years you said?
A few, 2, 3 more years.
Yeah, I probably got him at like 2 to 5 years.
I don't know if they're gonna be with the Lakers though.
We'll see. But I got him at 2 to 5 years playing in the league. Maybe surpassing that as like a Udonis Haslam role, like coaching type player. Like he's still on the team, but he's like a coach type thing. I mean, who knows though? He probably might want to own a team instead of fucking playing on the team.
Yeah. All right. So I want to jump into because there's been a lot of exciting young players. Two in particular have really taken the lead. But who right now it's a two-man race between Paolo and Benedict Mathurin of the Pacers. Who wins the NBA Rookie of the Year? D.
So I have not watched any of the guy off the Pacers. I have watched Paolo, however you say his name. He reminds me of like a Sean Kemp. Like when he dunks the ball, it's like ferocious. Like he wants to like kill somebody when he dunks it. So and he's still young. He has a lot to work on in terms of the long ball and stuff like that. So, but I will give the slight edge to him just because he was the higher draft pick, and he's probably going to get more chance to shine, per se with just because of how his team makeup is, because he's only got Franz Wagner and Bobo, but on the Pacers you got a couple studs, Tyrese Halliburton and stuff like that.
Did you see Wagner get knocked out the other day?
Yeah, by Diallo or not Diallo.
No,
Christian. No,
no, it's Killian Hayes.
Killian Hayes. Yeah.
Tom, did you say it?
Yeah, I seen it. He barely punched him though.
I mean, but in that spot in the
Like
back of your head,
it was like a forearm. But like they said, he looked like he was knocked out before he even got punched.
Bro, he did. It looked like when the dude shoulder checked him, his head went back and he was like this, and then the next hit just dropped. You think he was selling that shit?
I didn't really watch the facial expression or see him drop. I did see Killian Hayes, however, like I saw Diallo kind of like bump him, and then I seen Killian Hayes kind of mush him in the back of the head or punch him, whatever. But I didn't actually see, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. But I mean, everything is sold. Basketball is worse than soccer. They sell everything now.
I don't know. That's close, Derek. Watching the World Cup, that's close. These dudes don't even get touched and they scream like they fucking got their leg cut off.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, soccer is worse.
But did you see Grayson Allen?
Oh my god,
get like shouldered and he sold the push and made DeMar oh my god,
DeMar DeRozan
DeRozan like fall, like he just kept
he
going.
act like he got pushed. Yeah.
And
did you hear
the commentator said, what did he say? Something about like somebody needs to knock that dude out.
He says somebody needs to give him a 2-piece.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Look! Woj just tweeted that Killian Hayes has been suspended for 3 games, and Wagner got suspended for 2 games for what happened on Wednesday night.
Oh wow!
Literally, as we're talking about it.
But what did Mo Wagner really do other than just shoulder him?
He started it. He goes down as the instigator.
That's exactly what Derek was talking about. That's what basketball needs.
Did you hear the Detroit announcers? They were like, "Stay in your seats. Stay." They were like yelling at him. He was like, "If you get out of your seat, once you get out of your seat, you go to jail." I was like,
"Well, that's because of the malice at the palace, baby."
Yo, Detroit was on that shit. They're like, "Yo, we will not have this." All right, are the Nets? They're the hottest team in the league right now. Are they the best team in the East? Because the Celtics have kind of fell off a little bit. Are the Nets the best team in the East right now?
No.
Why not?
Just because I like the Bucks or the Celtics over them. I mean, I know the Nets have been on a streak and everything, but when you have Ben Simmons on your team, I just can't believe in you. Even though Kyrie's been balling, Kevin Durant's been balling, I just can't believe in that team.
The Nets have cut a 7-game lead by the Celtics down to 2 in a matter of 10 games. The last 10, The Nets are 10-0. The Bucks are 4-6. The Celtics are 5-5, and the Sixers are actually the second hottest team, 8 and
8 and
2.
2. Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. I do think that the Celtics are. If I had to pick a team, I might lean Celtics, but the Nets are looking good, bro.
See,
Tom,
I,
do
I
you?
don't, I don't, I don't want to be a biased person, but I honestly think that the Sixers are the best team in the East. Because when I was watching the Knicks game, I haven't watched a lot of Sixers because of football, and
Mhm.
days that we don't watch football or we're not in here, I like to spend with the family. But
Yeah.
literally, I did not know the Sixers are like defensive efficiency wise, they're like number 2 in the league. The
So
Sixers
are
have
the
never the Sixers have never been good at defense. That's the only thing they lacked was defense. They
Mhm.
were good offensively, but defensively they stunk. So
so are they
now that they
back
have the Sixers are back, baby.
back as a contender out of the East?
Yes, back as a contender out of the East.
Tom, can you
The
tell me why the
Sixers,
Sixers
the
are
Sixers
contenders?
are minimum. They're minimum making it to the conference championship.
I
That's
would like
Minimum
it.
minimal,
making it to the conference championship.
minimal.
I like
Because
it.
we don't even have Tyrese Maxey back yet.
Comes back Friday,
Mm-mm.
baby.
So
Friday.
I'm telling you,
I believe so.
the Sixers are
Be
back
wrong.
on the mat, baby. Go ahead, Tom.
Listen, dude. I didn't even know who DeAnthony Melton was until this year. Uh, I didn't even know who Daniel House Jr. is.
The
Hold on, I'm
new
not
one.
done yet. I still don't know who Saban Lee is. I don't know who. Hold on, who Jaden Springer? Well, I've heard of him.
I don't know where PJ Tucker's offense is.
Yeah.
Julian Chapagne,
Champagne.
and I don't know who Michael Foster Jr. is neither. Listen, and Tobias is on the milk carton. PJ
Well,
Tucker,
Tobias, he was hot.
PJ
He
PJ
was hot
Tucker,
when we needed him to be hot.
Yeah.
PJ Tucker is looking to be like a terrible signing.
No, dude, his defense has
Defensively,
been good. Defensively,
All
he's
I
good.
know is the Sixers are winning with guys that I never even heard of, and they don't even have one of the best players that they get back tomorrow. And
so
Tyrese Maxey.
you're saying they're back?
I'm saying they're back.
They're
Let's
back,
go.
baby. Let's go. And tomorrow night they're going to be taking on one of the hottest young teams in the league in the New York. Wow, in the New Orleans Pelicans. And that leads me right into this. Are the Pelicans, who currently lead the West, are they a legit contender? Tom, you're shaking your head no. Do you
No,
want to tell me why you're shaking your head no, Thomas?
because there's teams out there that I mean, there's teams out there that I'm pretty sure both of us all three of us can agree on that are better. I mean, I think the Nuggets are better.
Maybe. A better team?
Yeah, better team.
Pelicans
You don't think the
looking
Nuggets
pretty
are
good,
better?
huh?
There's no team in the West right now that are better than the Pelicans.
I think the Nuggets have the better player,
Yeah, of course.
but as far as like a collective as a team, I don't know, bro. Because look, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at the Pelicans and Nuggets tied at 1 right now, right? You got the Grizzlies right behind them. I do like the Grizzlies as a team, honestly. I think that a little bit more maturity. I think the Grizzlies might have the best overall team. I can't discount the Warriors. But then after that, the Clippers, I don't believe in them, but they do got Kawhi. But Kawhi is just like he could disappear and not play for 6 months. The
Listen,
Suns,
man,
I don't believe in the Suns at all.
it's like the Warriors are in 10th place and they're 5 games back.
And Steph is out, so the Warriors are going to finish as a top 4 team in the East
And the
or in the
Warriors may
West.
win the NBA Finals again.
I wouldn't bet against that.
Mm.
Who in the West is beating the Warriors, D?
In
I'm not
7
saying the
games.
West. I'm saying the East.
So do you think the Warriors the favorite to win the West? Still.
Probably just because of experience in the playoffs.
Okay. All right, well, let's speak West, and this is the last thing I want to touch on, and then we'll wrap this one up. Will the Lakers make the playoffs? Right now, they're sitting at 13th seed. They are just 8.5 games out of the 1 seed, which nobody thinks that they're getting the 1 seed, right? Um, but what is it with the NBA? It's 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Or playing game.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are 3.5 games out right now. They're behind teams. They're only ahead of the Spurs and Rockets. They're behind the Thunder, the Wolves, Warriors, Jazz, Blazers, Mavs, Kings, Suns, Clippers, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Pelicans. I see the Kings falling, so that opens up a spot. But do the Lakers make the playoffs?
No.
Okay. And now if Anthony Davis gets back in a couple weeks, does that change your mind?
Yes.
Okay, so it's basically solely on the health of AD.
Correct, because he was on the tear.
He was. I was just looking at the numbers. He was number 2 in the league in rebounds per game. He was number 3 in the league in blocks per game. Yeah,
he was on an absolute tear.
Yeah, he was cooking. Tom, do the Lakers make the playoffs?
Yes.
They do. By way of now, are they in the play-in tournament and make it, or do they make it out? Okay. All right, I can see it.
We're gonna playing game.
I can see it. All right. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I'll tell you what. As much as we talk football, I'm glad we got some NBA and some NCAA in here today.
Oh yeah,
felt good to get a little change of breath. But like we said, we are going to be back on. We're gonna be back next Thursday. Simply because of Sunday's going to be New Year's Day. It's a family day, and as much as we love you guys and we love the podcast, family comes first. We're going to spend some time with the family, and we could be celebrating an Eagles dub and a 1 seed. But with that, we're going to sign off here. Thank you, everybody, for joining in with us today, and we will catch you guys next Thursday.